You get one for my right, here to live for my left. Cardi B for my right. If you say you want check.
All right. Great afternoon. Well, actually, let me say great morning, great afternoon, and great evening, depending on what part of the world you're actually chiming in from. I'm actually based in the United States, so let me say great morning. So thank you all so much for joining us today for another session in Family Finance Conference. You know, when you talk about when you talk about life in itself, you can't talk about life without talking about money, right? Because money, from a biblical standpoint, the Bible says that money answereth to all things. Okay, so today we're in for another beautiful session in helping you to understand, things that you need to know to go from where you are to where you need to be. So definitely great to have you. We have a key number of speakers lined up for today that, with powerful information. And one thing that I always tell people is that whenever you come to a gathering like this, your key primary goal is to drop whatever knowledge that you had before so that way you can pick up certain, some new information. And one of my mentors used to say that if what you know can help you get to where you need to be, you would have already been there. All right. So in other words, all of us are part of the conference because we know that there's another level that we need to get to. And that's why we have powerful line of speakers, for today, this morning or afternoon, as well as this evening. So just saw some quick announcements before we proceed. So we want to encourage everybody to make sure that you're joining you're chiming in 10 minutes before each session. All right. So thank you all for those of you who were able to get on time for the evening session, or for us here in the afternoon session. Make sure that you get on you get on 10 minutes before the time. Also, if you have any testimonials, please make sure that you post them on the different social media platforms and use hashtag, let's see, hashtag GFFC 2024 and hashtag GFFC. All right. So I'm going to say that again. First hashtag is hashtag GFFC 2024 and and hashtag GFFC. All right. So also make sure that you're joining daily. So we have another session coming up tomorrow with another powerful line of speakers. All right. The details for the promo will also be shared soon. So ensure that you utilize that opportunity as well. And if you haven't already done so, especially if you're watching this online, whether on social media platforms, please make sure that you share this on your page, share the link with other people so that way they can receive the same level of information that you're getting. All right. And also don't forget to join the WhatsApp community. I believe the let's see, the IT team should be dropping that link in the chat group. Okay. So I see a lot of people chiming in. Excellent. A lot of people from Nigeria. Great. All right. So at this point, I think we do have a little bit of advert if the team want to go ahead and put that up before we actually move into the session.
do you have to say with what you've seen outside the estate before coming here?
Yeah, well, I know that if you want to invest, because I'm investing, I don't know about the goal for other people. If you want to invest, this is a place to invest. You know, I'm looking at the structures in place and the plan in place for Ibejuleki as a whole, and I'm saying that in the next 2-3 years, it's going to blow up. There are a lot of things that, like the Dangote refinery, the seaport, and the road is started already. So, and that's what I'm looking at.
While we're coming in the car, you asked me a very thick and important question. He said that apart from the automations and the greenery and all the works that you say you guys are doing, what makes GTech stand out from all the other development? Why is it that I can get properties here for 65, 70 and yours is selling for 139, 166? What is that difference? Why did you choose this GTech to do investment, and why do you keep coming back to us and telling other people about us?
Honesty, integrity, that's it. Rest of mind, that's just it. You know, because I don't live here. You know, I don't live here, and they are one of the reasons why people don't want to invest in property in Nigeria, especially people in diaspora, is because they are afraid. There's nothing you can tell them. They are afraid. It's not that they don't have the money to put into it. You know, they might see that, oh, people are making money from property investment in Nigeria, but they are not able to find a company that is honest, has integrity, and it says they are truthful. You know, they say it the way it is. You know, I understand that some of your property are not like 500 square meter, but you tell me it's 400. That's what I'm selling to you, and give me the reason why you're selling it that way. And you're not going to show me like this road, Jasper Gardenia, that's connected to the main road. You're not going to tell me that it's tarred, and I come here, it's not tarred. You're not going to tell me that I'm going to get my document, and I'm not going to get my document. You're not going to tell me that, oh, I'm selling you 500. Meanwhile, it's 400. You know, so it's not like that. So the peace of mind that is in GTech is attracting me to it, because I'm not here. I don't see it, you know, but it's just they said GTech stand for, right? And that's the selling point for me.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Martins and I'm the sales manager for GTech Homes, and today we have a client visiting us here at Jasper Gardenia. So I'll just be asking him what his experience has been, because he has gone up to check everything we have. We also saw you with Alexa, you know, commanding Alexa to turn on the light, open the curtain and everything. What do you think about that, sir?
Okay. That's okay.
You like the
centralized
father?
Arrangement.
Beautiful.
Centralized arrangement. So I just more like it.
So you like the fact that it's an automated house?
Yeah, just like that.
Okay, so lastly, would you recommend this place for anyone, sir?
That's why I'm here. So I'm here to recommend to many people. Same thing with my brother. Sure, you understand? Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you so much, Daddy. Sir, please, what do you think about this place? You know, you've gone around to check everything, and you saw that it's a smart home. So what do you have to say basically about what you've seen so far?
To me, I can see everything is automated and very, very perfect. I like something like that to be located in my home.
In your home?
Yeah.
So would you recommend this place for anyone?
Very, very sure. Very sure.
Thank you so very much, sir. So you heard it all. You can come here to have an experience. We take you around. We show you what we have on site. And I'm sure you will fall in love at first sight. Thank you so very much. My name is Jessica Martins, and I'm signing out from Jasper Gardenia.
Looking out my window, but I know they see foes. I they pray for my enemy, may they fit to see.
We appreciate you being a customer with us. Why did you choose GTech?
I don't even know you guys from anywhere, but I think it was just your director I saw. And I saw a man with a vision and someone that's focused, and that was why I came into it. It was even the K2 recently that also uplifted my spirit, like, you know, these guys are not local champions, they are going everywhere. There's something I observe about your estate, they are not too big, you know, outrageously big, where those things you guys promised about your smart estate, I've been thinking with the big estate I see around, I don't know how you guys want to get that, bring them to reality. But I think these are manageable size that can bring about implementation of the things you talked about. You guys are you're visionary, and I keep saying that, you know where you're going to and you're focused, and that's why everyone wants to go with people that are focused and people that know what they're doing, and that's why I'm investing.
He's selling smart investors like you, watching us, to take advantage. You don't wait to buy land, you buy land at waste. Thank you so much, sir.
That's the word, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to G-Textland, where every corner is a masterpiece waiting to be discovered. Step into the serenity of Jasper Estate, your haven in Ibeju Lekki. Feel the sand beneath your feet at Beryl Beach.
All right. So thank you so much, IT, for that phenomenal quick commercial. Now, at this time, we're actually getting ready to dive into the first session and having our first speaker come up by the name of Shola Adeshakin. Now, before she actually comes on, when I did my due diligence to look at what she actually, what she does as an expert, and she's speaking about one of the most important subjects any family can embark on. All right, we're talking about family planning. How do you budget your money as a family? How do you cultivate the habit of saving money? One of the things that I always teach people is that if you don't plan for your money, other people will plan for your money for you, right? You got to understand that. And when you talk about family budget, being on the same page with your spouse, with your children, here's what I want you to realize. I don't know about Africa. I don't know about any other parts of the world, but in the United States, the number one cause for divorce is due to financial related matters. Because you have people who come together maritally, they're married, but they're not married together with their money. They're not on the same page with their money. So money causes a lot of problems in homes because the couples don't understand the importance of financial literacy. All right. So when we're diving into, family budgeting, when we're diving into cultivating the habit of saving money, these are wealth principles that you can never take for granted. I've been fortunate over the last 20 years to read plethora of books, to study a lot of wealthy people. And I discovered that the number one common denominator that they all have is that they all cultivate the habit of saving money. And I'm not going to steal the spotlight from our speaker because I know she's going to be dropping gems. So I want to highly encourage you. Get a pen and paper handy. Take copious notes. Make sure you're sharing this link with as many people as possible on social media, because I'm telling you right now, if you apply what she's going to be sharing this afternoon or morning or evening, your financial situation will be transformed. All right. So without further ado, let us introduce IT. I believe we have a quick introduction for Ms. Shola Adeshakin, and then we'll take it from there.
Shola Adeshakin is a seasoned finance coach and chartered accountant with a wealth of experience spanning over 2 decades. Her unwavering passion for empowering individuals and businesses to comprehend the intricacies of make, manage, multiply money has seen her establish Smart Stewards Financial Advisory Limited in Nigeria and in the USA. Shola has transformed the financial lives of numerous people across 40 countries, helping them transition from financial stress to rest, from debt to wealth. Extraordinary life. Shola, a strong supporter of SDG 5 and SDG 10, is dedicated to achieving gender equality and reducing inequality. Shola is a well-known author who has written 8 books and a number of articles that haven't been published yet. Join Shola Adeshakin at the Global Family Finance Conference 2024. It's a virtual conference. The date is 24th to 28th of April 2024. Afternoon session, 1 p.m. 1 UK. 6 a.m. CST, 4 p.m. UAE. Evening session, 7 p.m. Watt UK, 12 noon CST, 10 p.m. UAE. Registration.
All right. Good afternoon from Lagos, Nigeria. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you to GTExt for inviting me to be a speaker at this conference. And I know that everybody that would be listening to me today will have an amazing time. I hope you have your light bulb moments and you take actionable steps that will move your financial life and your family financial life forward. I know that, you've been to conferences, you've heard so many speakers talk about personal and, finance, family finance. I want to encourage you to have an open mind today and, to express gratitude to the organizers and make up your mind that you will pick at least one thing. So I know that you have probably heard a couple of speakers already. You're listening to me, and you will still hear a lot of speakers. But just look out for that one thing that you're going to sort of work with, that you're going to run with, that you're going to take actionable steps on. So look out for that one thing. Yes, thank you. Thank you to all the participants who are in the comments and who have been, welcoming me. Thank you to the Additional who opened the floor for me. Thank you to the media. Thank you to my brother, Stephen Akintaya, and his wife. Thank you to everybody. So we're here. I will be sharing on the topic, crafting a family budget and savings plan. But before I go into that, I just wanted to share my story with you, and then I would share my presentation. I love the energy I am seeing in the comments, so keep it coming, keep it coming. If, I hit anything that touches you, just write light. Do you see? You already listened to my profile, a abridged profile, but the summary is that, I got a lot of certifications and qualifications as a chartered accountant. I qualified about 23 years ago. And I like to say I'm a chartered accountant in 3 continents. I'm a fellow of ICANN in Nigeria, ACC in the UK, CPA in Canada, and I hold a certification in the US as well. And I'll tell you why I'm sharing this story, because you would assume that, having qualified as a chartered accountant, my personal finances should be top-notch, should be in, a very good state. Like accountants should not even have issues managing their personal finances. Well, mine was the opposite. I was that chartered accountant that was always broke. I was that chartered accountant that, in Nigeria, about 17 years ago, I was earning about $500,000 a month. And then 4 or 5 days after salaries were paid, I was broke. I didn't know where my money was going. Yes, I was always broke. I would save, rather than doing it consistently, I would put out a lump sum, put in my savings. And then after 4 or 5 days, I will touch my savings and I will just, mess up the whole thing. As I'm speaking to you, I'm tempted to share a very, very, very funny story that will make you laugh. But hey, I'm here so that you can learn and I can learn from you as well. I remember in those early days, my first time of going to the UK embassy to apply for the UK visa. I had sent in my application, printed my bank statement, but in my usual way of, saving money, removing it, I sent in my application, and 2 days after I sent my application, the money that I had in my bank account, which was supposed to be my proof of, affordability for the trip, I now went to withdraw that money. My usual way, I spent the money. 2 or 3 weeks after, when my application, whatever, came, do you know what they indicated as the reason they were refusing me? They indicated, so these embassies, they have a way of sort of collaborating with the bank, so they literally know everything. And then they stated that as at the time I was submitting my application, I had a certain sum. And, as at the time they were taking that decision, that sum had been depleted, which meant that I wasn't going to be able to afford my trip. Oh my God, that was a big blow because I was supposed to be going for something very important. Why am I sharing that story? It's just giving you a background of, how I started my financial journey, some of those mistakes that I made, and I will bring it home to marriage very quickly because I know that is the essence of this conversation. But the first thing I want to make you realize is that when we talk about personal finance, between, first of all, couples, husband and wife, and then taking the children into perspective, the extent to which you can succeed with your with your family finance is dependent on how you are disciplined, how you are successful, and how you take your own personal finances seriously, first of all. So marriage is a, combination, a partnership between two people. Many of us, we live very funny, indisciplined lives. And then we think that when we come into marriage, everything is going to be hunky-dory. My husband will change me, I will change my husband, my wife will change me, I will change my wife. And then we'll come into marriage with very wrong belief system. And we think that, no, once I get married, these are my finances that I'm not getting seriously. By the time I get married, everything will be fine. No. Before we talk about financial success, right, in marriage, we must look at you as an individual, first of all. You must look at yourself. You must introspect. You must reflect to say, where am I with my finances? What do I know? What do I need to do? What are those habits that I need to drop? And don't just expect that when you get into marriage, everything is just going to change overnight. So I shared my background already. And that was how I, excuse me, how I went into marriage. Illiterate, financially illiterate, chartered accountant, all of those qualifications, but I was totally illiterate. I was totally unaware with my personal finance. And another point I would like to make is that, listen, that you have gone to school does not mean you are financially literate. Do you agree with me? I'm not seeing the comments, so keep them coming so that I'm sure that you're learning from what I'm saying. There are PhD holders who are broke. There are master's degree holders who are broke. So that you have gone to school does not mean that, oh, yes, you're on top of your finances. They teach us how to become lawyers, doctors, accountants in school. But in those days, financial literacy was not something that was thought to be important. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy is a combination of the right mindset, skill set, knowledge set, and tool set to get your finances in order. I'll say it again. Financial literacy is a combination of the right mindset, the right skill set, the right knowledge, and the right tool set. Do they teach us this in school? I mean, these days, gratefully for advocacy work that people like us are doing and many other organizations and the government, yes, they are now teaching financial literacy in school. But back then, they weren't teaching us. So you come out of school, you just realize that from earning alawi, for those in Nigeria, that's your NYC allowance. You then, all of a sudden, you're earning 100,000. I'll be like, wow, I'm made. And then you start to spend anyhow. Anyway, back to my story. Chartered accountant, high flyer, earning 500,000 17 years ago. Living the girl, I mean, in those days, there was nothing like baby girl life, but just living amazing life. What was I spending my money on? Oh, BA, British Airways or Virgin Atlantic, BA back then. He's doing a sail to London. Well, eventually I got a visa. We go. Oh, Delta is doing a sail to Atlanta, 90K. We go. Oh, there's a new shoot. That was what I was spending my money on. Even though I was a chartered accountant, as I am still one. Anyway, I got married. One of the most important financial decisions of my life was what I took around the time I was going to get married. I was going to resign. I wanted to resign from this job that was paying me well for no reason. I just wanted to resign. I felt I had all the necessary qualifications and, I'll get another job. And, my husband to be, who is my husband, gratefully, then started to ask me, why do you want to resign? Now, I was going to resign. I didn't have any savings. I didn't have any investments, nothing. But I just felt that, no, I'm going to resign. No, I have all this. When you're financially illiterate, you take decisions that, now, when you now become financially literate, you look back in retrospect and you're like, what was wrong with me? Were village people after me? So I resigned. My wedding was in the UK. We went. My boss, from whose company I resigned, I remember I came to the UK just for 2 days for my wedding. At the wedding, I was saying, Shola, don't go. You're such a talent. You're a destiny helper. I'm going. I'm going. So I came back, no savings. My husband kept saying, hey. And then I became like a Jonah in a ship. Some of the things he was doing at that time, from having a very flourishing partnership, food business, 4 partners. Then they decided that, no, only 2 partners are very active, the other 2 partners. So let's employ people to manage the business. The people they employed to manage the business started to mismanage the business. So it became a very tough time for us as a family. Now, listen, if I had not done some of those things that I did, right, we shouldn't have found ourselves in that circumstance. Just give me a minute, please. Let me see what's happening with my lights. All right, I'm back. Thank you. Well, but I took those decisions and then I got pregnant, and there came a time in my family that both of us cumulatively were earning about 1 million plus back then. There came a time that we didn't even have 1,000 naira left in our bank account. So listen, when we talk about personal finance, it's not just about, my husband and I were doing stuff. We need to introspect as individuals. We need to check ourselves. See, when you have 2 strong, disciplined, aware, and financially literate people, it makes the journey easier. It makes the road to financial freedom easier for the family. But if you have 2 illiterate, financially indisciplined people, it even makes it worse. Now, when you have one financially literate and then one financially illiterate person, it's manageable, but there will be a lot of conflict. Are we still together? So we got into marriage. I brought those baggages of financial indiscipline to marriage. Then our finances began to, blossom gradually. And then I was that person that would go out, see something that we didn't plan for, right? Buy it. And now we say, but you are the chartered accountant now. Are you doing so? Did we plan for this? Anyway, that was then. I learned in a very hard way. And, some of those things led me into starting Smart Stewards, which is a financial literacy firm. And we have grown in leaps and bounds, since then. And those are some of the things we teach at our academy. So I bring knowledge and I bring experience to the table when it comes to personal finance and family finance. So what I have said so far, ladies and gentlemen, before I go into the meat of this conversation, is for you to become a financially fit family, both of you need to look at yourselves, your money values. Embrace financial literacy. Don't be the loose end or the weak end in your family. And if you are not married, hey, congratulations. You're starting in a very good way. Go and embrace financial literacy so that when you become married, you will not become the loose end in your family. So a financially fit family is a family where both parties, all the parties, have embraced financial literacy, and they're able to make sound decisions that would move the family forward. Points taken. If you have taken those points, let me see in the comments. Points taken. Light. Now, let's now go into the meat of the matter, which is, how do we then start to craft a budget? How do we start to plan our finances? Whether you have been married for 30 years, you are newly married, or you are going to get married, or you are single, these points will help you. I'm going to share 7 points, and we can take it away from there. I hope I'm able to share my screen. Yes. Crafting a family budget and savings plan. Don't forget that at the foundation of all of this is financial literacy. Don't forget what I said. Right. You cannot do more than what you know. Awareness in life is so important. There are some things that you know now that, makes the quality of your life better than 10 years ago. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. What makes your life progress and better year in, year out is the quality of information that you have and your agility to implement that information. So I am richer today than last year already, and I'm not gassing you, because of the new level of information I have gotten about wealth creation this year, and which is working for me more than what I knew last year. So I only don't get the information, I also execute. So this financial literacy thing, don't say, what is he saying? Just go straight into the point, George. Tell us how we can drag, Don't forget, change starts from the mind. And it is a function of the knowledge and information that you get and your agility to put it to work. Some of us, we have had the same thing for 20 years, but we have not developed that agility to implement. That's why you will continue to remain at the same level. Anyway, let's go on. Practical things. 7 practical things. And the first thing is communication. There's no point saying, hey, let's budget. So you're just going to the budget without saying the same language in the family. Financial language, or understand. So it's like you have a friend, or you're married to a wife. They brought you a wife from Japan. You understand Yoruba and English. Your wife understands Japanese and Chinese. What kind of marriage is that? Tell me. Are you guys going to make any progress? Like the person is speaking, chon, 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 chon. And you are saying, except there is an interpreter, guys. You guys will kill yourselves. Communication is so important. And financial communication is so important. I like this comment section, Joe. Keep giving me the energy. You want to eat. You say for me, lonje. You guys, in Yoruba, they will say, abuke, no man, no aropa. Somebody will kill somebody in that family. And I like what the Bible says. He said, well, Joshua says, what if she can speak English? That's if she cannot speak English, what do? Then you now need an interpreter. Now, tell me the work of an interpreter. You're in the bedroom. Now, you're supposed to do your marital duties. And the husband is saying, oh, yeah, boss you. And the wife is saying, do you want to get an interpreter at that point in time to come and tell your wife to remove her clothes? Do you see? But having said that, communication is important. We have said literacy is fine, but we need to communicate. in the earlier days of my marriage financially, and then I get better. But one of the things I did, I will talk about it as we go on. I realized that I was the weak end. My husband was better financially. So I decided that, okay, oh yeah, when it comes to financial decisions, you take the financial decisions, right? And then I will, somebody says sign language. And then I will, I will support. But over time, I took responsibility for my finances, my family finances, and I got better. Right? Well, I can never forget one day where in the bedroom, my husband said, oh, Shona, you are, babes, you are the chartered accountant. You should understand this financial thing better. That thing never left I was like, whatever I took, I will do, So when we talk about crafting a budget, attaining financial freedom and fitness as a family, let's communicate. Some of us are married, but you talk about every other thing, but not money. Listen, money is one of the major causes of frustration, of divorce, of many things in marriage. And you know what? Even if you're not married, money is such a fundamental part of your life. Talk less of marriage. Listen, from different backgrounds, both of you decide you shall become one. And then money, which will form a very critical part of your lives and existence, you don't talk about it. Do you know how? No, so money is not powerful. They say money cannot solve all problems. I agree. But money can solve all money problems. Simple. Money can't solve all problems, but money can solve all money problems. We all live and breathe money, from what you wear, to what you eat, to the house you live in, to your children's school fees, to everything that you do. How come you then don't discuss or communicate about money? You can't craft a budget or a savings plan if you have not learned to communicate at the most basic levels. I know that the dynamics of marriage differ from one family to another. Don't get me wrong. I know that in some families, there's no trust. In some families, they're always, suspecting one another. But ideally, and a man shall cleave to his wife, and they shall become one. They were naked, and they were not ashamed. I'm a person of faith, so I'm giving you scriptures as well. Even if you're not a person of faith, it's easier. Listen, if you can communicate finances with your husband or with your wife or with your spouse, it makes life easier. I'm telling you. So it is important to communicate about finances. I remember about 4 years ago, right? I wrote a book titled, it's an ebook, it's a free book. Maybe after this session, I will go on my Instagram page and put it on my story so you can download it. And the book is titled Your Money, Your Money, My Money, Our Money. Fantastic book. And communication is one of the things that I mentioned. We must communicate. There are some things I would say that you might be like, for example, in my family, I know they say joint account, project account. In my family, we don't do joint account. Joint account is whereby I make 100K, you make 100K, we put it together, then we spend from that pot. If it works for you, fine. It's not as if it doesn't work for my family, but from the onset, you do your thing, I do my thing. We look at our joint bills, and then you say, I'm taking this, you are taking, and it has worked for us. Fantastic. So as a girl, I said as a girl, I'm a girl, my 40s. As a lady, I can do what I want with the remaining part of my money. My husband can do whatever he wants with his money. But as women now, his own money is our money, on a lighter note. But what am I saying? We communicate. We have explored different things, and we have seen what works for us. Are we still together? Say lights, if you can see it. Right. And if you see me and my husband sometimes doing budgeting session, you think like we're writing a project. In the last 5 years, I can tell you that every month, I have an idea of what it takes to run our family. what is going for food. I mean, today my house help has gone to the market. We are budget. I mean, we are bulk cooking. I can tell you, top of my head, because we discuss it. Even though my husband pays some substantial part of school, but I know what it is. We've got 3 boys, 16, 11, 8, or 9 rather. We know, so I can tell you that this is what it costs to run my family on a monthly basis. We communicate, we sit down, okay, LA, that one, what are the plans? How much are you putting? Yeah, you know, as women, you know, all of those tricks that we do, not tricks like that. Oh, I'm just saying that, you know, you just, we are doing this time now, next time, you get, but we communicate. Some of us, you don't know what your husband is earning, your wife, you don't know what your wife is. It's not I'm not saying you should know, but at least when it comes to joint expenses and things you should do, we know that people who have died, that in their bank account, after they died, that they always say, this guy had this amount of money. Will you not die, man, not die. Oh. But that people who have inherited monies that some people did not disclose to family members. Mm-hmm. So this very first point is so important that I could dwell on it all afternoon. So if you are having issues with your family right now, with your spouse, and you have not been communicating, show them the replay of this, whatever we're doing. Or come and book a session. I do sessions for couples. We call it family finance therapy. It's money. We sit down together, we virtually or physically, what is happening? So start from somewhere. Don't say, we have been like this for 20 years. We're not able to change. You can change for the sake of your children. So open financial communication, setting common goals. That's fantastic. You know, listen, because some women will be like, this auntie, that, like I said, in my family, we do joint accounts. There are things I do, there are things my husband do, there are things we do together. I'm a very independent person, but I have learned to also work with my husband. So we have individual goals, we have combined goals, and we have children. Our children alone are combined goals for life. What school are they going? Do you understand? And they are very important goals that we also set as a family financially, apart from your individual goals. I know questions will come like, can I buy a house after well, you know your family dynamics. Yeah, but we have a joint house, and you know the questions I hear, should my husband know? Should I not tell him? My husband doesn't know. All of those things. See, when we solve the communication problem, things will work better. And then there won't be any need of, should I say, should he not know, right? Are we still together? The comment section is quiet now. Now, let's go to number 2. I'm sharing 7 C's, and I'm just taking my time to explain. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. Listen, this next point says creating money opportunities. The reason for conflict in some families is not because they don't communicate or they're spending too much money. They are not making enough money. That's why as a family, apart from what you're doing, you must also from time to time sit together to say, how can we create money opportunities together? I'm not saying go and resign from your work or your job or resign from your business and say, she has said we should do family business. Family business can be an additional source of financial support. Listen, the economy, global economy, national economy, things have been quite hard or difficult in the last 2 or 3 years for a lot of people since COVID. But there are people who have been cashing out. Some of us, God has been helping us. We have been using our gifts and talents. Our businesses have been doing well. And I tell people, wherever there is value, there will be money. Money gravitates towards value. If you can create something valuable, product, services, money will come to you. So at an individual level, look for how you can expand your source of income. And then two are better than one. One will chase 1,000, two will chase tens of thousands. Sometimes when you come to some of us as spouses, I feel like saying this. As spouses are so intelligent, but we don't see those things because we are always seeing the imperfect things about them. You're always talking down your wife, and then you go to your office, there's one lady that can give you, good suggestions. But your wife is even more intelligent. But because you don't listen to her, because you look down on her, familiarity has set in. Some of us are husbands. I've realized that with what I do, there's hardly anything I take to my husband in terms of, can you advise me that he doesn't like ace? I call him my mentor. And he's not working in my business. I'm not working in his business. But I get a lot of ideas and light bulb moments from him. It's communication as well. So how do we generate money opportunities? For my husband and I, we discussed, that business at the beginning of this year, we saw an income-making opportunity. We're working on it. It doesn't mean I'm not working on the other things I'm doing. He's not working on the other things he's doing. Listen, inflation, devaluation issues, spending is sacrosanct, and it's becoming more expensive to live and to exist in this world. Do you agree with me? We woke up last year, May 29, they just said, something, they have inaugurated a new president in Nigeria. And all of a sudden, petrol station, filling station, queues, what happened? Money has gone, petrol pump price has gone from 185 to 5 something. We don't have control over those things. Ukraine, Russia war, we didn't have control over it. Diesel price went up. So let's stop complaining about the things we don't have control over. That dollar went to 1.8. Did they ask for your opinion before it went? Do you understand? Oluwapemi says, don't she marry? I agree with you. I mean, this is finance, but there are a lot more things, which I believe, the other speakers will touch on. So costs go up, expenses go up, you don't have control over them. The only thing you have a bit of control over is your personal finance and how you can make more money. So if you want your family finances to get better, keep introspecting, reflecting, what can we do? And I tell people, listen, a credit alert is always a credit alert, because some of us, we buga a lot. Me, I can't do it. If 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira credit alert, 100 naira credit alert will make your money or your bank account go forward than a debit alert. I usually will cite this example. Guys, you take your girlfriend, you're trying to, to buga for one girl like that you want to toast. As a single person or not as a married person, you take them to the restaurant and then you tell the lady, wound me, take anything you want, injure me. And the lady is wounding and injuring, ordering this and that. Then the bill comes. You yourself, you already know that you have 20,000 in your account. By the time the bill comes, it is 20,100. If you give them your card, what will happen? Transaction decline. But if you enter the bathroom, call a guy, but send me 500, send me 200. Will you not save the day? So why do you say more money is more money? As a chartered accountant, 3 continents, 6 years ago, I was consulting for a company and I'll pack my lunch to work. And then when I pack my lunch, I'll be hungry at about 11. I'm like, I can't eat my lunch now when I'm closing at 5. I say, come and buy snacks. So we say, ma, we have to go to one side of VI. By the time we come back, I say 1,000 naira transport to buy snacks. So on my way home one day, I just saw a snack shop around my house. So I stopped, I parked, and I said, you know what, tomorrow I'm coming to pack snacks. I'm reselling. You're going to give me a discount? They said, okay. So Friday, I went there, packed the snacks, took it to work, gave it to the office assistant. Within 1 hour, she had sold out. I'm like, what? So I went back and I said, I'm not even reselling. I want to learn. So the next day, the girl came, taught me. After church on Sunday, she came, she taught me. That was how I started a confectionery business. So I'll tell people I'm not just a chartered accountant, I'm a chartered donut maker. chartered egg roll maker back then. And I ran the business for a while until I was like, no. And this one, it's not like that. Because it's all of a sudden started to become big and bigger, and I didn't want to build a structure around it. So don't say, that one is beyond. Some of us need to go back to learn skills, to monetize our talents, and to do many things that will expand our income base. Organizers, please send me a private message to know how many minutes more I have. So discuss, explore ways to generate additional income. But I don't like the word hustles, right? But I believe it's something that we all can relate to. I think it's additional income streams. I don't like hustling. Hustling is too demanding. Hustling is, they say I'm grinding. Grinding who? Why are you grinding? But use your gifts and talents. Thank you, Joshua, I see that. And then consider cost-saving measures also that directly increase financial resources. All of us these days, for those in Nigeria, I know there are people overseas watching this. Band A, Band B, Band C, Band D, NEPA. Which of them are you in? They moved Band A by like how many percentage? Nobody is teaching us to turn off the light now in Nigeria. Maybe you go about and say, that's my host. They always tell me to turn off the light. Somebody, I went up on my last trip. They said they came to, I was reading, and my sister came to turn off the light. In Nigeria now, don't turn it off. Even AC now, these days. But I say, inverter AC, fan, because you need to do what? Use common sense. My neighbor within my estate called my husband. My husband is the chairman of the estate. And my neighbor said, Chairman, I bought 30K credit yesterday. So somebody is tapping my NEPA. My husband said, nobody is tapping anything. It's a Band A something. Right. So go and buy rechargeable fan. Go and buy fan. Use AC small. Then let the fan blow. By the time you wake up, everywhere is still cool. Use common sense. Number 3, cost analysis, which is what I meant to talk. I'll touch on that and I'll go on to the other things. Are you enjoying this session? So the actual budget. What is budget? Budget is not hard. Many of us feel it is hard. Budget is where is money coming from? Where is money going? Simple. As a family, what are our obligations on a monthly basis? Let's list them. What are the practical necessities that we have? Number 1, rent or mortgage for those who are still renting houses. Food, electricity. What else? Internet. Necessities, not a share bill. Because there are needs to have. The things that are necessary for your survival. Thank you. Fuel. List it out. Okay, so how much is rent per month? How much? All the necessities, list it out. Children's school fees is a necessity, but you pay it 3 times a year. So take 1 time's money, multiply it by 3, then divide it by 12. It will show you what you should be keeping per month. The idea is get anything it will cost you to run your family on a monthly basis. Your rent divided by 12 for those in Nigeria. So you know what you pay per month. So at the end of the day, you know that, okay, 500,000 is what we need to survive as a family. Then you ask yourselves, are we making up to that? So this is how to create a practical family budget. How much do we spend on food? Some of you think it is practically impossible to estimate, but I tell you to an extent you can. How many times do you shop? Some of us, we are so fond of buying. I want to buy matches, go to the mala. I want to buy Maggi, go to learn to bulk purchase. It's better, it's cheaper at the long run. So write out all your necessities. I'm going to go into the next slide and I'll come back. Your needs. And this is what we suggest. 50% of your income should go into your needs, which are the things that we have listed. Then as a family, you need to also enjoy yourself. If you go on my Instagram page, I've shared Shola_Shaki. I've shared a couple of videos in the last 1 week talking about self-care. Many of us, we work. We take care of everybody but ourselves. I'm an advocate of at least 20% of your income should go into self-care as a family. Go for movies, go for vacation. You have to travel out if you can't afford it. I'm not saying go and borrow money. Go take your children to the cinemas. Take them to buy pizza. Just give them fun. Don't be too hard. There's nobody anywhere. You're screaming like somebody who is May God help us. I know the state of the economy is funny, but cut yourself some slack. Then I suggest 30% into savings and investing. Is out of that money, you can then say, we want to buy a house, we want to build a house, we want to do many things. So the actual budget, this is it. Your necessities, list them out. Nice to have things you'd love to do from time to time. List them out. Somebody is saying there's no audio. Can you hear me, please? So list out nice to have, list out need to have, then your savings and investment. Using the 50-20-30 rule. There are some people who would use 50-30-20, but you can't be splurging and indulging all the time. This month, oh yeah, we are going for kiniko. You spend all your money. Plan for the future as well. So breakdown of expenses into need to have and nice to have. Then balance your budget by prioritizing necessary. Some of us don't prioritize. Women especially, we are the culprits. Okay, in church, or wear a black dress. All the time, we don't have a black dress. All the time. And they are 20. I wear a black shoe. I don't have a black shoe. There are 20 black shoes. I wear a pink. Then every party, they call, yeah, Shebi, you're always buying. Why? Have different clothes in different colors. The day they call blush pink, wear your pink. Even if it is fuchsia pink. The day they wear color me green, wear your lemon. Green is green. And if not, wear whatever you have. Don't be under pressure. Right. How many C's have I said? Commitment. By the time you draw that budget, then stay committed. It's one thing to draw a family budget, right? It's another thing to stay committed. I wanted to also talk a bit about savings under this one, the budget. Like I said, 20%, 30% at least should go into savings. But again, this is just a guide. Some of you might say, sis, it's not enough. So I can do 50 or 60, 20, 10, whatever. Just save. If you don't save money, money won't save you. Right? A Japanese proverb says, if you save money, money will save you. I can't even go into the basic. On my YouTube, Smart Savers by Shola Adeshaki, you can check it out. There are tons of videos about saving and investing and where the money should go. But I tell people, saving is putting money aside. Investing is putting money to work. So save to build consistency. Then invest to build tenacity. I'm sure G-Tech would also tell you about some of their products, how you can save and how you can invest. So I was talking about commitment. Stay committed. Today, you do it. Next tomorrow, you're not doing it. Today, you plan together. Next tomorrow, you're not. It won't be, what's the word? It won't be beneficial to your family. There'll be temptations. There'll be financial side. Things will happen. Sometimes price has gone up. Don't because of that say, this budget is not working. Stay committed. Now, commitment is different from consistency. You can be committed to something and you're not consistent. But consistency means that you are regularly checking. In that my free book, I said let the stronger partner take charge of the finances, the family. Let them take the decisions. Even when you do joint account or project account, some of us, they keep money in your hand, you spend it. Earlier part of our marriage, my husband was when we say we are doing something, and it's still very strong, but I am also as equally strong. When we say this is what we are doing, we stay true to it, and we are consistent. So there might be commitment. Commitment is the spirit is willing. Consistency or inconsistency is the flesh is weak. So they are twins. You must be committed and consistent. So let the stronger person take the decisions or take the money. Some of you say, okay, put the money in my account. They put the money in the next time, oh yeah, where's the money? You have spent it. Right. So this one cuts practical tips for reducing expenditure without sacrificing quality of life. 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine and her husband, they own a beach house at Ilashe. So they invited us. I'm like, in Nigeria. Earlier in the year, I've traveled to a place that looked like that outside of the country, and I know what I spent. I'm like, this place is in Nigeria. Okay, next vacation. We don't have to go outside of the country. Right? We went on board. Lovely, lovely place. So sometimes we need to look at, okay, so we're buying beef and this every day. What are alternatives? I'm not teaching you to become very miserly. No, look for alternatives. Spaghetti, sometimes, practical things. We eat beef and beef and beef. the beef we eat for 1 month now, it will only last for 2 weeks. What are the options? Okay, let's do fish sauce instead of using, just practical things. You say, wealthy people, they don't think like that. They have ways that they cut down things that are not necessary. So look into your family life. Again, I tell you, it's important to make more money. As much as I would say, cut. What I saw, there are some things you can't cut. Your children will wake up one day and say, we are not hungry. Don't worry, we'll not be hungry in the next 3 days. You just have to keep it. And I tell people, see, money is inanimate. It's a non-living thing. You are animate. You should be wiser than money. Money should not give you high blood pressure. Some of us, we can't sleep because of money. Get a hold of yourself. Make more money. Just commit yourself to it and then do the necessary things. At Smart Stewards, we teach the concept of make, manage, multiply money. Some people know how to make. They don't know how to manage. Some people know how to manage. They don't know how to multiply. There's no time for that. But look around you. What are we wasting? Are we wasting resources? Some of us, we're doing something. You pour jam or mayonnaise, or you're like, even your children. And listen, I've not been talking husband and wife, but children should be part of these conversations. So they don't think that money is growing at the back of the house. Listen, I'm not saying teach them not to value money or teach them. I'm not saying teach them that there's no money, but let them realize, hey, mommy goes to work, she spends her time, daddy goes to work, he spends his time to make money, to give you the quality of life that you want. You must understand and let them be a part of the whole process. Finally, emergency fund. This is important for every family. Emergencies happen. Life itself is a risk. You are going, something happens. I was going on 3rd mainland one day, driving myself. And all of a sudden, my car just did do. What happened? My husband was out of town. I had to get a towing vehicle. Spent so much money towing it. Spent so much money fixing the car. Those things don't announce themselves or their arrival. Your health, anything could happen. Plumbing at work. Roof is leaking, anything. Those are emergencies because life itself is a risk. So as a family, you must also have an emergency fund whereby you keep some, depending on the size of your family. One of my finance mentors in the US, Dave Ramsey, will say, there are 2 types of emergency funds to have. Number 1, a starter emergency fund. He says save $1,000. In Nigeria, people can save 1 million as emergency funds. Okay, save 100,000, save 200,000. So that when emergency happens, you are not going to beg people, you're not going to borrow. That's why some of us are in debt. We remain in debt. So keep something aside, put it in a mutual fund whereby you wouldn't have direct access to it, but it's also earning money. There's a difference, thin line between savings and investment. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I'm back. Apologies. So final slide. Yes, where was I? Ooh, sorry. Let me stop sharing that one. Okay. I can't find my. Okay, just 1 second. Village people, we no go agree for you today. Yes. All right. So I was saying that starter emergency fund, right? So whatever it is, just keep aside some. So I was saying there's a thin line between investing and save. These days, don't keep money in your bank account where anybody can steal your card and all. Put it in a mutual fund. Put it in an cash and cash equivalent, whereby you can always convert it to cash when you need it. And it says the second type of emergency fund is fully funded emergency fund, where you keep 3 to 6 months of your cost of living aside in case something happens. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing it together, I encourage the adoption of a proactive, informed approach to family financial planning. We have talked about communication, we have talked about costs, we have talked about making more money, right? We have talked about emergency funds and a lot more. I know that there will be one thing that will really resonate with you. Work with it. Okay, my name is Shola Adeshaki, lead coach, founder of Smart Stewards. I'm an author of 8 books. But my favorite out of them is The 40 Frugal Rules for your journey to financial freedom. It's available in Nigeria and on Amazon all over the world. For those who are business owners, the real profit as well. And of course, I'm the founder of the Smart Stewards Academy, where all of these things that I have taught, they are in courses, how you can save, how you can budget. And it's just 50K for 3 months. I invite you, go on my Instagram page, go on Smart Stewards page, connect, pay for it. And of course, let's get our finances in order. Thank you again to the organizers. God bless you.
Wow. I mean, that is what I call fire, and I hope, like I said before, when we first started that, you're taking notes, because you can't attend something like this and not leave with, so much gem. One of the things that Ms. Shola said is that if you don't save money, money will not save you. And she just dropped so much wisdom that even I myself was kind of just taking mental notes, because a lot of the things she was saying was just making so much sense from a financial standpoint. Now, Michelle, I want to ask you some questions, because I'm sure some people will need some clarifications on a few things. So what I want to do now is I want those of you who are attending here, right in the Zoom session and possibly online, if you have any questions that you want to ask, please drop it in the chat box, and then we can kind of engage Ms. Charlotte a little bit before we take a quick advert break. Now, while we're waiting on questions, I do have a question that I want to ask you. Like, what do you do in a situation where, you have a couple, one person is a saver and the other person is a spender? How do you blend that equation?
When it comes to managing money, all right. So yes, I mean, I hear that all the time. One person is a saver and one person is a spender. That was the dynamics of my family many years ago. My husband was a saver, I was a spender. And listen, when we talk about money temperaments, there's no way we can't talk about, the temperaments. You have those who are sanguine, choleric, phlegmatic, and melancholic people. Those things, in one way or the other, they affect our money temperaments. Being a sanguine, I'm not a sanguine, but hey, I love force. So a sanguine is somebody who goes out, would see something, bites, and just naturally. A sanguine is somebody who will go to the bar or the club with their friends and just, say, everybody on me. And this is the person that has not sorted his child's school. So our temperaments also influence our money temperaments. But listen, financial literacy would sort of give you an awareness, number one, of the kind of money temperament you have. As Smart Stewards, we teach that there are savers, there are spenders, there are those you call money monk. Some people believe that money is evil. Then you have those who are orders, they odd, and I even have a book that talks about money temperament. So what do? Communicate, understand, right? That, hey, I know that I'm a spender, you're a saver. Okay, so if I am the spender, I am susceptible or vulnerable to spending anyhow. So you keep the funds, so you communicate, then you take practical steps to ensure that you mitigate some of those excesses. For example, a phlegmatic just wants to save. They don't want to explore. They don't want to go on vacation. Do you get? So understand your temperament. Let the stronger person take response. For example, being weak in an area does not mean you are weak in other areas. Yeah. So if I'm a sanguine, I believe that as a family, we should go on vacation once a year. It doesn't have to be out of the country. So I what's the word? And a phlegmatic, a saver will say, no, we won't do it. I should be able to say, it's good for our mental welfare, well-being. So I prevail. But in some other areas, my wanting to say, let's do this might be detrimental. Then the saver will prevail to say, no, let's not buy that car. We don't need it. So I think communication is good. Understanding your temperament is good. Embracing financial literacy is good. And then taking actionable steps between the two of you. Now, there are many dynamics that All of these things are ideal, but we have very unideal situations whereby the husband doesn't allow the wife know because, and the wife doesn't allow the husband know because the husband will withdraw. I've heard of so many things. Do what works best for your family. The most important thing is you work together. And you know what they say about opposites attract. The reason you are attracted to your husband or your spouse is because there are things they do you can't do. So those things that attract you should then not become an object or a subject of confusion or frustration. So work together, and then, if possible, speak to a counselor, a financial counselor, or if you have extreme issues, speak to a counselor, get into counseling, and then you'll be able to, work something out.
Very powerful, very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm definitely I'm phlegmatic, but I've learned to spend a little bit more, enjoy money while I'm still alive. There's a great question here by Renner. It says, how can you invest when your capital is not enough for your needs?
I love it. Very good question. See, even the richest men in the world, they're always looking for how they can make more money. The truth is, money is never enough. Money is, if money was enough, richest person in the world, not Elon Musk now, the guy that owns the LV chain, right? Why should they be actively working? Because money is never enough. Reason number one is the money you have today is being eroded by inflation. So when you think, oh, I have this money today, the value of the money keeps going down. In Nigeria, devaluation issues are issues. So you thought you had $1,000 as 360,000 naira 4 years ago. Today, 360,000 won't buy you $400. So you see why you must constantly make more money. That's number one. So if you look at it, you will think like, no, I can't invest because I'm not even making enough. I have realized that it's not about the quantity. It's about doing the right principles. Yeah. It's about, I'm a person of faith. He gave one 5 talents. He gave another 2. He gave another 1. The one that had 5 made 5 extra, 2 extra. One person went to hide it. And the master said, see, I'm not about you multiplying it, but just at least you could have earned a little interest on it. Do you see? And he said, collect from him that has only 1. Give to the person that has 10. So this is about principles. From that small money, we have just learned the concept of budgeting. Save at least 10% of that money, put it aside. Whether you save it or not, that money will not be enough. Why don't you save then? Because saving money will take care of you in the future. There are emergencies, there are things. And these days, investing is not, you don't have to have a lot of money to invest. Cash and cash equivalent, 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, stocks that you can buy 1,000, 2,000. Just keep buying and keep doing those things consistently. I hear people say, I can't save 3,000 from 30,000 because it's not enough. When I earn 300,000, I'll save 30,000. No. When you earn 300,000 because you have not built that consistency muscle, you will not be able to save. So build a consistency level, and it's just a life's principle. As you do those things, your resources will increase, and you'll be able, I'm telling you, I literally came from having 0 in my account to practicing these principles, little by little. The day of saving 2,000, day of saving 5,000, day of saving 10,000. And these days I save, and literally I don't even remember monies that I have in some accounts or in some investment because I have built. Sometimes, currently, I save 70%, 80% of my income because it has become, a habit that I have formed over the years. So try it, and just don't eat with your 10 fingers. Finally, the scripture says that there is oil desirable in the house of the righteous, but a foolish man spends it all. A foolish person spends all and doesn't keep something aside. You are not a foolish person, so don't spend all.
Right, these are fire gems, man. Once again, I hope you're taking notes. I think one other question I would like to ask, because I practice this, it's a lifestyle. And I think the person who asked that question is speaking from the standpoint of having only one source of income, a job. What would you say are some areas where people can actually dive into to spot opportunities or create multiple streams of income? in, you know, I mean, I believe there are other people from different countries, but I think primarily they have a lot of people from Nigeria here. So maybe speak to that tune or whatever you think may be good.
Okay, very good question. I could deliver an entire master class on that.
We don't want master class.
Right. Money gravitates towards value. Wherever
Yeah.
there's value, money. And value is a function of you providing solutions to the needs of people. What are the needs of people around you? I give an example of how I started to sell snacks to those who had hunger issues. I didn't plan it. I just spotted that need. So spot needs around you. What are the people around you? What are they saying? What do they want? Right? That's a cue. Another cue is we're in the knowledge economy. Don't say everybody is a coach. Everybody is a da. This is the age. It's an age of internet, and it has come to stay. What can you do on the internet? E-commerce, drop shipping, right? My first virtual assistant, she sent me a DM on Instagram to say, "Ma, this is what I do. I'd like to work with you." And I employed her. You can do it within the knowledge economy, videography, you can do virtual assistant. There's so many things. So money will come to you at the intersection of your gift and talent and the needs of people. Just be creative about it. And some of us need to go back to school. We not school, but need to go back to learn courses or to do courses that will sort of upgrade. You can't be expecting different results with the same skill set. You know, so I mean, I could go on, but look for things around you, create value,
Awesome.
provide the products and services, and you'll be fine. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for your wisdom. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And once again, hopefully you guys took notes and you're going to apply all the information that was shared this afternoon. With that being said, we're going to be taking a short break for advert and we'll reconvene in the next couple of minutes. All right, take it away, IT.
Customers that have given me bad name the most are the ones that bought my land when it was cheap.
Have a very, very highly expository I told myself I was going to go to one of the best to learn from. And I can tell you the 2 days masterclass was absolutely mind-blowing. Dr. Stephen gave us the powers. Hey God, if you are not here, okay, you missed this one, make sure you don't miss the next one.
You know, knowledge is into okay. If you know, you know.
My name is Ifeanyi James. I am a business coach, and I stumbled into this opportunity to attend this meeting a few days ago through social media. I've been following Dr. Stephen Akintaya for quite some time now, over 2 years ago, and it has been an inspiration for me. And today is the second day and even the last day of this real estate masterclass with Dr. Stephen Akintaya. Personally, my orientation about real estate have changed. My concept about real estate has also changed. My mindset has been expanded. And all I can say now is possibilities. Now I know I can. Some of the things I am afraid of daring, through his coaching, I'm able to understand that it is very possible. Okay, and I've got a lot of value, and I will advise anybody that cares that this coaching program is a coaching program you really want to enroll in. As long as you want to make it in real estate, and generally you just need a coaching. Dr. Stephen Akintaya is the best way to explain.
All, all right. So we're back again for our next speaker. So we're looking at having Mr. Lanre Olusheye come on board talking about strategy to building family finance as a single parent and a clergy. I believe the IT has an introduction for Mr. Lanre.
Lanre Olusai is a father, thought leader, resident pastor of House on the Rock Church, Port Harcourt, a church doing wonderful things for God in the city of Port Harcourt. In a world of disillusionment, delusion, broken dreams and pain, the House on the Rock Church is strategically positioned by God to prayerfully provide the city of Port Harcourt with a church that presents the gospel of Jesus Christ in a creative, credible, caring, and contemporary way. Consequently, you at the point of your needs and empowering you to leave the crowded commonplace of mediocrity and reach for greater heights of fulfilled potentials. He loves to be fondly referred to as your guy. Join Lanre Oluseye at the Global Family Finance.
All right, with that being said, please join me and welcome Miss I want to say pastor, or I think according to the the video it says my guy. So please join me in welcoming my guy Lanre Olusheye.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, everyone. First, let me say a big thank you to Dr. Stephen Akintayo for the opportunity to share a few thoughts of mine concerning the subject that is before me. It's great to be a part of the Global Family Finance Conference, and I do hope that some of my thoughts will benefit someone. All right. So again, thank you very much to all the speakers that have spoken. Thank you. Incredible job everyone has done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so even though I like being called my guy, there's also the pastor side. So you will pardon me if I share scripture to start with what I want to do. All right. And the scripture that comes to mind, is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 10. I particularly like, if you read King James or New King James, it's very straightforward. But I like how the New Living Translation kind of gets it. The New Living Translation of Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 10 says that using a dull axe requires great strength. So sharpen the blade. That's the value of wisdom. It helps you succeed. You know, the thrust of my thought is really that B part. The value of wisdom is that wisdom helps you succeed. Wisdom helps you to succeed. And basically that is what I want to talk about. See, the subject I'm supposed to deal with is strategy for building family finance as a single parent and clergy. And I don't know whether being clergy really has any import or any impact in how you build family finance as a single parent. I think the rules are the same, whether you are clergy or you are laity, or you're just somebody that does not even believe. I kind of believe the fundamental principles for building finances are basically the same. But this is what I want to say. If you are a single parent, the first thing you must understand is this. Nobody planned to be a single parent. So you are either a single parent because you are divorced or separated or abandoned, or you are a widow or a widower, as in my case. It's either you are divorced, separated, abandoned, left to yourself, you are a widow or a widower. You know, nobody plans for that. And that's the first thing I want to deal with. Nobody plans for some of these things. I don't think anybody starts their lives hoping, for instance, that their marriage will not work or their marriage will end in divorce. I don't think anybody does that. I don't think anybody starts their life wishing or that their spouse is going to die on them. I don't think anybody does that. But you know what I have realized? Life throws everybody punches. Understand this, life throws everybody punches. Some of those punches we're able to, we're able to block, we're able to parry. Some we can duck, we can weave, we can do all kinds of things. But every now and again, life is going to catch you with a bad uppercut. And usually I tell people the punch that knocks you out or knocks you down is the one you don't see coming. The problems that leave you flat on your back, that leaves you in the place where you're wondering, where did that come from? Is the stuff that you don't see coming. So life throws everybody punches. And it is important that we all understand that. And, especially for those of us of faith, many of us who are Christians, at times when life throws us punches and we find ourselves in a situation we did not plan for, a circumstance we were not prepared for, we tend to think that, God, what are you doing with my life? If there was anyone that this thing ought to happen to, it ought not to be me. If there was anyone who ought to be divorced, it ought not to be me. If there was anyone who ought to be who was supposed to be separated or abandoned or left by themselves to cater to children all by themselves, or have your spouse just go to glory, we have that, it ought not to be me. Because there is a way we are wired that makes it such that we don't think bad things should happen to us. But this is what I say, and I'm building this gradually. This is what I say. If you find yourself in a place where you're wondering, God, what are you up to with my life? What is going on with my life? Why am I in this place? I love you. I serve you. I'm committed to you. I do all the things I'm supposed to do. Yet you find yourself in a debilitating situation or in a circumstance that you're wondering, how on earth did I get here? Why is this happening to me? Hear me. When you don't understand what God is doing with your life, just trust him. Trust that the one who knows your future, the one who has your life in his hands, trust that he knows what he is doing. This particular situation, I got to understand it more. When my wife went to be with the Lord, when my wife passed, when my wife died, honestly, she left me with a 2-year-old daughter. I mean, I have 3 children. One is 17 now, one is 15, and the one that was 2 when their mother passed is now 8, going on 9 actually. But at that time, she was 2. And I remember kneeling beside her dead body and saying, God, if you're not going to raise this woman, raise her because of this girl. This little girl has not done anything. This girl deserves to grow up knowing a mother's love. This girl deserves to have a mother care for her, cater for her, help her through her formative years. And I was very worried for my little daughter because she was 2. But God taught me something. I remember a few months after the mother passed, I was looking at the what do they call them? The immunization records, and I realized that she was due for immunization. So I had to take her. I had to take her for the immunization. And you know how it is. This is a 2-year-old. That is totally unaware of all that is going on. I am still grieving. My heart is heavy. I'm in a horrible place. But I take my daughter for immunization. And we get to the place for the immunization. And they ask me to keep her on my thigh. So I'm carrying her on my legs. It was the booster shot for polio. I don't know if any of you know that, and if you're watching internationally, I know you guys administer the polio vaccine differently. But in Nigeria, they actually inject it in the child's thigh. It's an injection that is injected in the child's thigh. So I'm here, I'm taking my daughter, she's sitting on my thigh. And for the life of me, Now it's something that makes me laugh and I find very amusing. I think if you are a nurse dealing with a little child, when you want to give a child an injection, the least you can do is at least, hide the injection. But you know how it is in Nigeria. The nurse comes, brings the thing, pulls it in front of my daughter. She's looking at the long syringe. They tap it and they press it so that that tiny drop comes out. So that there's no air bubbles there. They do all of those things. And my daughter is watching in consternation and fear. And in her mind, she's wondering, I hope that needle is not heading in my direction. So you can imagine by the time the nurse is saying, sir, please hold her very tight. I'm about to give her the injection. I don't want her fidgeting or moving so that the needle does not break in her thigh. My daughter is looking at the needle. Tears are streaming down her face. This strange woman is bringing this needle and she's going to inject her. She doesn't know that. But what is more painful for her, because after a while, she stops looking at the nurse, and she's just looking at me, looking at my face. And as I stared back in her face and tears are streaming down her face, her eyes tell me what her mouth could not articulate. She's looking at me and wondering, Daddy, are you going to be here and let this woman inflict this kind of pain on me? Are you going to be here and let this woman put this long needle in me? And the more she cried, the more I held her in place. And she's looking at me, and my heart is breaking, but I am holding her in place. And the nurse puts the injection in her thigh, does all the things she needs to do, and I am holding my daughter. And the question is this. She's wondering, how can a father who says he loves me allow this kind of pain in my life? How can a father who says he cares for me allow this kind of pain? I thought he was going to rescue me and save me from the pain. So the question is, why did I allow my daughter go through that pain? I will tell you, superior knowledge. Superior knowledge, because I know that present pain will save her from a life of paralysis in the future. If she goes through this temporary pain, there is something bigger that will save her from. And that's why I am saying, when you find yourself in a place where you do not know what God is doing with your life, trust him. He has superior knowledge. Trust him that the one who owns your future, you have superior knowledge. He knows what he is doing in your life. He has superior knowledge. If you can only trust him. If you see, the only reason I allowed my daughter to go through that pain is because I know that this temporary pain will save her from a more horrific problem in the future. And I will not forgive myself as a father to save her from that temporary pain, and then she catches polio a few months down the line and she's paralyzed for the rest of her life. So hear me, my friends, when you do not know what God is doing with your life, just trust him. Trust him that he has superior knowledge. He has your best interest at heart. And if God allows any kind of pain in your life, if he allows you to find yourself in a place where you are a single parent, if he somehow you find yourself in a place where you are raising your children all by yourself, you find yourself in a place where your back is against the wall and you're wondering, how can this have happened to me? Just trust God, the one who owns your life. He knows what he is doing. Hear me, my friends. The Bible is very clear. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of peace, not of evil, to bring you a future and bring you into an expected end. Do you understand? Can you just trust God through the process? I know things are tough. I know things are bad. I know things are not going your way right now. I know you feel like you're about to throw in the towel, but my advice for you is to trust God through that process. Can I tell you the good news? You see that daughter of mine that was 2 years back in the day, she's 9 today. Speaking Fone, going to an American school, doing very well. I spoke to her this afternoon as she was going to school, doing great. Doing great. Trust God through the process. I know this was not the plan. I know this is not where you thought you were going to be. I know that you did not think that the kind of thing that happened to you was going to happen to you. But if you trust God through the process, I can assure you that you will have the last laugh. God will ensure that you will have the last laugh. Now, having said that, hear me. If you find yourself in any of this situation, you are divorced, you are a widow, you are a widower, you've been abandoned, or you are separated, or you shall find yourself in any of this situation, hear me. This is my first point. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. As Christians, we have this thing where we are expecting some knight in shiny armor. See, that is the exception. Don't get me wrong. God does miracles. God does wonders, but that is the exception. But most often than not, nobody's coming to save you. Pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. If nobody is coming to pick you up, give you a hand, please, by all means, I'm begging you, pick yourself up. I tell the widows that are in our church, because when you go through the kind of thing I've been through, and you've lost a spouse, people have a tendency of bringing other people to you, so that you can counsel them, you can help them with their grieving process, and all of those kind of things. But what I am saying is this, and this is what I found out. PT is not a strategy. PT is not a strategy. There are too many people who want to use PT to get through where they find themselves. So they always have a tale to tell. If not that they left me, if not that this person died, will I be here? If not that all of these things befell me, oh, he abandoned me, only me raising these 5 children. What am I supposed to do? Can I speak to you? PT, see, we're talking about strategy for building family finance. All right, it is important. It is important that I lay this foundation. PT is not a strategy. A lot of people think that, once I tell people that I am just a widow, I'm just a helpless widow, everybody will come running. Hear me, after a while, people are going to move on with their lives. After a while, they will be with you. People will rally around you. They will support you. But after a while, they are going to go back to their own lives. I can tell you stories. I can tell you countless stories. I used to beg people to travel with me and my children. We're going on summer holidays. Maybe we're going to Europe, we're going to America, wherever it is that we're going. I used to beg people, aunties around, and I'm going to beg them. I'm the one buying the ticket for this person. I am the one getting the visa for the person. And usually I will give you some spending money to spend. But I just realized that after a while, people will give me excuse. Oh, Pastor, I want to attend a wedding. I can't go. I want to attend a funeral. I cannot go. I want to do this and I cannot go. And one day, I had just had it. I packed my 3 children, packed their boxes, put their stuff together. Everybody had a backpack. I packed them. We bought our ticket, got our visas, we got on a plane, and we went. When we got to where we were going to, we got into the apartment that we had hired. We went through that holiday. Hear me, I went to do the shopping. Whatever I cooked, we ate, and we did not die. Whatever I cooked, we ate, they didn't die. I remember they went to swim one of those days and their hair had become tangled and was all wet. Hear me, I bought the hairdryer. I loosened the hair. I dried the hair. I combed out the hair. I did stuff. We did stuff together. It was great. I learned to weave the hair. I mean, it won't be straight, but weaving is weaving, right? I learned to weave the hair. I did the stuff that needed to be done. All right. What I'm saying to you is pick yourself up. See, what has happened to you has happened to you. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Neither will I downplay the gravity of what has happened to you. But you cannot stay there for the rest of your life. Pick yourself up. PT is not a strategy. PT is not a strategy. I keep telling everyone, don't say PT is going to run out, people. PT is going to run out. After a while, people are going to start saying, but it's been 5 years now. By now, she should have gotten herself together. Oh, it's been 3 years now. She should have got, no, now it's been 2 years now. So you will need to pick yourself up, right? I've put another brick on top of that. Now, let me begin to build this thing, how you can build family finance. That's number one. Number one is nobody is coming to save you. Honestly, trust me. They will support you for a while. But if they do it, that is an act of God. It's a miracle, and God does miracle. But pick yourself up. Okay? Find something doing. Number two, find something doing. You must find something productive doing. All right. I will tell you, I'm a pastor, and I've pastored for 20 years. This year is going to be 20 years that I became a pastor of the local assembly that I'm pastoring, an incredible church doing absolutely fantastic things in the city of Port Harcourt. But there's never been one day I did not have my own money. Church pays me a salary, and I'm grateful for it. But there has never been one day. There's never been one day that I didn't have my own money. Lanre Olusheye had always had Lanre Olusheye's money, different from House on the Rock and what House on the Rock generates as a church. What I am saying is I have always labored. And let me quickly say this. A lot of my friends who do ministry, who are in ministry, say, oh, I'm in full-time ministry. I don't do anything all like this. I study the word, and I preach, and I pastor. I take care of God's flock, and I understand. And it's great. But what I say to them is this: except that is what the instruction that God has given you. If that is the instruction God has given you, that is great, that is fine. But if that is not the instruction that he has given you, trust me, there are several other things that you can do. So someone says to me, Pastor Larry, are you in full-time ministry? And I tell them, yes, I'm in full-time ministry. And they're like, see, but you do business, and you do this, and you do that. And I'm like, yes, it's still full-time ministry. Because all my life, everything is the ministry. So it's like a church that has many departments. So in this ministry, there's the department of pastoral duties, where I do pastoral duties. And then there's the department of commodities, where I deal with commodities. There's the department of real estate, where I deal with real estate. There's the department of interior design. I studied architecture, for crying out loud. I have several degrees. I've done several courses in the real estate sector, London School of Economics and Political Science. I'm doing a course in MIT right now on data analysis as it pertains to the real estate sector. I'm an alumni of several schools. I can't remember now. University of Cape Town Graduate School of Business. I have an MBA. What I'm saying is this: find something doing. Find something doing. It is absolutely critical. Either you are in a job, or you are creating products, or you are doing some kind of business. When people say God will bless you, I keep telling them God has to have something he's going to bless you through. And he's only going to bless you either through your career, or through your product and services, or the business it is that you are doing. So it is important that you're doing something. It is important that you are productive. And don't tell me, oh, there's nothing I can do. No. And that is the excuse that we give ourselves. When people tell me that there is nothing I can do, where is the time? How am I going to juggle raising the children and doing a career? My sister, I don't want to be insensitive, but look around you. There are people who are doing exactly that. They are raising children single-handedly, and they're having a career. There are people who are raising children single-handedly, and they are running a business. If anybody can do it, you can do it too. That is what I want to say. If anybody can do it, you also can do it. When I joined House on the Rock, there's a saying that Pastor Paul made all of us to kind of internalize. That saying has blessed me, for many years. And it says that excuses are the tools of the incompetent. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent. They are monuments of nothingness. Those that use them are not wise. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent. They are monuments of nothingness. Those that use them are not wise. That is that is a saying that has become a mantra for my life. I do not give any excuse for failure. I don't give any excuse for failure. Someone just wrote, what is my first point? Pity is not a strategy. That's my first point. Pity is not a strategy. Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to help you. Pick yourself up. Number two, find something doing. All right. Number three, and I'm soon going to be out of your face. Number three, save, save, save. Once you start making money, any kind of money, save, save, save. I cannot overemphasize the issue of savings. Can I share a personal experience with you? See, nobody told me. It was just a brainwave. It was just something that I started doing. Once all my children are born, from the first month that they were born, I started paying them a salary. I'm not joking, no jokes. From the first month that they were born, I started paying them a salary. Now I'm thinking maybe I should increase the salary, but I've not increased it. But from the day they were born, so from 17 years ago, when my first son was born, I was paying him 100,000 naira every month. He's 17 today. He's about to go to university in Texas, and I am not struggling for school fees. Save, save, save. See, people talk about investing a lot. Oh, you must invest, you must invest. But can I say this to you? Investments, they travel on the wheels of opportunities. So that means they are not always there. That's why they call it an investment opportunity. When something shows up out of the blue, they call it an investment opportunity. In other words, it is not something that's always going to be there. The only way you can take advantage of investment opportunities is that you have savings. You have somewhere to pull from and jump in. Investments travel. See, investments and opportunities are like 5 and 6. They're like 5 and 6. That's why we call them investment opportunity. When someone is advertising, they'll tell you it's an investment opportunity because it is not something that is always going to be there. It means it is time bound. It means after a while, it will no longer be there. Another thing will come. The only way you are going to be able to take advantage of investment opportunities is if you have savings. I can't teach this enough. Please save, no matter what it is. It's a principle from the Word of God. Do not eat all you make. Someone says, Pastor Larry, it is good for you because you have money. Don't even go there. You don't want to know my story. You don't want to know my story. So it's not a matter of but I have learned the value of savings. If you read the story of Joseph, because it is the cycle of life, there will always be abundance and lack. It's yin and yang. It is a circle. The only people that it looks like they are always in a circle of abundance are the people that saved. That is so good. Are the people that saved during abundance, so that when lack showed up, when the season of famine showed up, their savings carried them through that season until they hit another season of abundance. So their life looked like it's a perpetual line of upward trajectory, and it's always abundance. No. But you see, this earth, there will be seed time, there will be harvest. It is the law of life. It is how this earth runs. There will always be abundance and there will be famine. I learned from the story of Joseph. He told Pharaoh, This is what we are going to do. We are going to save a fifth of our harvest. That is 20%. My friends, there must be 20%. After you have removed your 10, if 10 is what you do, anyways, let me leave that alone. There must be 20% that you save. No matter what comes in. Someone says, how can I save when there is not enough to it's like when people say, my take home cannot take me home. And the person says, I earn 100,000 naira. What will 100,000 naira do for me in an economy like we have in Nigeria today? And I say to them, just rework your mind and tell yourself, I earn 80,000 naira. And try and live within 80,000 naira so that you always can save at least 20% of your income. Save, save, save. Because you can only invest when you save. All right. Investment is great. Investment is powerful. Investment is what gives all of us financial freedom that we are all looking for. And so save so that when opportunities for investment show up, you are able to take advantage of it. Can you imagine if GTEX Holdings now says, oh, we're doing price promo, we're slashing some of our best estates by 50%. The only reason you are able to take advantage of that is if you have savings. If not, you just be there and say, hey, try. And that's what a good deal. Hey, how kind of, if I had not, but time will pass. So save. Whatever you do, save. The next point I want to say to you is this: find a mentor. Find a mentor. We are building family finance. Find a mentor. Find someone who has done what you are trying to do, so that you can avoid the potholes and all the problems and all the bumps along the way. Find a mentor. Mentorship is so powerful. That is why I really love what Dr. Stephen does and what many of the speakers who have come to the platform, many of what you see, people say, oh, everybody's a coach, everybody's coaching somebody. Coaching is powerful. Apart from the word of God, I personally believe, coaching is the next thing that can save your destiny. For lack of a better way to put it, is the best thing that can save your. So find someone who can tell you, this is how I got here. Why don't you do like this? Why don't you do like that? They can give you heads up. They can let you know whether it's in your marriage, whether it's in your business or in your career. Find a mentor. Find someone that can coach you. And how do I build wealth? What investment should I take advantage of? It's like I'm telling my friends now, because that is what I am seeing. That is the trend I am seeing. I'm telling some of my friends who are making a lot of money in tech. They are tech bro. And I'm like, you know what, guys, this tech money is almost like intangible money, right? It's money. When you get intangible money, can you find a way to invest it in tangible assets? Because the rate at which technology is changing, that tech thing that you are doing that is giving you money now may change tomorrow, may change in a split second because of the rate at which it is changing. So when you make that money, can you take it and invest in tangible assets? Because tech money is like, for lack of a better word, juju money, juju money. Juju is like you do money medicine, all right? Tech is the new oil, all right? And people are making a killing, doing all kinds of things legitimately, right? Legitimately, and they are making a killing. But what I'm saying is, because of the rate of change of technology, what is making you money today can become obsolete in 24 hours because a new technology can just come. Look at what artificial intelligence is doing to the lives of people. I have a brother who used to have a photography studio. People are doing what he used to do with big DSLR cameras. They are doing it with iPhones. And they don't have to deal with the overheads of renting a place and doing all of those things. Their delivery time is easier, is faster. So if you make money in tech, all right, and that is what a mentor will help you do. They will be able to tell you, this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. I mentor a few people, and I tell them, when you're making tech money, can you find some of that money and please invest it in tangible assets? You see, land is not going anywhere. You see, houses, they are not going anywhere, and not in depreciating assets. All right. You see, gold, commodities, they are not going anywhere. Oh, I wish I had the time to tell you. Commodities, they are not going anywhere. Food is not going anywhere. Food is not going anywhere. All right. So that is what a mentor will do for you. Find a mentor. And let me close my thought with this so that we can take some questions if there are any. Beware of black tax. I'm begging you. Beware of black tax. Do not let people guilt trip you to the point. I am all for helping people, please. I am all for helping people. I think I'm a generous person. I think I'm a giver. I think my hands are open. I think I help people as much as I can. But tax, black tax, not tithes, tax, T-A-X, black tax. That's what we call it. When black tax is when one person seems to be rising and the whole community put all their problems on that person. It seems like in Nigeria we like collective poverty. It's like we have collective poverty. We like collective poverty. If one person begins to rise, or everybody just suddenly begins to say, please help me with this, or help me with that, or help me with this, or help me with that, or help me with this. And because you don't want to be seen as a bad person, you keep saying yes to everybody. Very soon, what you have put aside will diminish, and you will lose all of that money. And the bad part of it is the people will find someone else to help them. I know. I have been there. I've gotten a t-shirt, a face cap, and Rolex wristwatch. Please take care of people. Don't get me wrong. Take care of people, take care of your parents, take care of your siblings, as much as lies within you. But don't let them drag you down. There is a thing in Africa, we call it the crab mentality. Put 10 crabs in a basket and none will be able to climb out. Because the minute one begins to climb out, the other 9 are going to be pulling on that leg and pulling on that person until all of them fall back to the same level. Beware of black tax. Please take care of people. Don't get me wrong. Take care of parents. Take care of children. Take care of spouses. Take care of your business. But please do not let people guilt trip you into poverty. You've worked too hard. You have come too far. Don't let them drag you back to where you used to be. And if you cannot say no, I promise you, they will drag you back there. Unfortunately, when you are back there, they are the ones that will use you as an example of how not to behave when you have money. They're the ones that will say, oh, can't you see so and so? When he used to have money, this was how he was doing. Can you imagine now? He's now poor. In fact, we are doing better than him. We are doing better than her. Beware of black tax. All right. Don't let people use guilt to drag you down. Have a threshold for giving. That's what I counsel people. Have a threshold for giving, for benevolence. And once that threshold has been reached that month, be able to say, oh, sorry, I can't help you this month. If you wait for next month, I may be able to do something. And you know what I realized? After a while, the people around us will understand your style and they will just wait. They will just wait. I'm telling you, they will wait. Too many of us, opportunities came. We had the money. Opportunities came that would have bettered our lot. But we had already given the money out to somebody who had some other problem, and those opportunities came and they passed. You know. So please beware of black tax, and God will prosper the works of your hand. Those are a few of my thoughts that I thought to share with you. It is important that you spend less than you earn. It is absolutely vital that you spend less than you earn. All right. Thank you very much for your time. I do hope that someone got something from my thoughts as I shared them this afternoon. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. I think to a large extent, those are some of the things I wanted to deal with today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's my guy.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Phenomenal gems. You said something so powerful that I caught, man. You said, it is what you save during a time of abundance that will carry you through famine until the next season of abundance. And that was that was fire. That was fire. And for those of you who've been on for a while, I'm hoping you're kind of seeing the continuity between the two speakers, saving, right? And when we talk about saving, obviously, Pastor Larry, you're not just saving for saving purposes. It's to be able to seize opportunities when they do come around, right? So can you just to kind of ask a few questions, can you give us some ideas of how people, just based on your experience, because you say you're a full-time minister, but not in the sense that we all know it to be, right? So what are some ideas that other people can actually embark on to generate additional streams of income outside of their full-time job?
Okay, great. First, find things that come easily to you. I was listening to the other speaker, and they were talking about people are making a killing teaching people how to cook. You can even decide that it's just one thing you will teach people how to cook. Egusi soup, for instance. Let everybody know that you're an expert in cooking egusi soup. Say, I don't do ogbono, I don't do okra, I don't do banga, just egusi.
Wow.
Don't die until you have eaten my egusi. That is a product.
Wow. So it's not even about, it's not about, can you hear me? I think he froze.
Find the things that come to you that come to you easily. All right. Because I studied architecture, for instance, I started doing like shoplets, Airbnb kind of thing. And I did all my interiors, and I'm not saying it just because it is me. Dr. Stephen has been to some of my apartments.
We can't hear you. We still can't hear you. So I think he'll just give a few minutes until he comes back on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. So I had to go off and come back on and
sure.
All right. I don't know where I stopped. But what
so
I'm saying
what we
is,
heard you last was when you said, becoming an expert at Egusi. And then what you said was your architecture, Dr. Stephen being to your
Great. So because I studied architecture, there are things that I know, even though I'm a full-time pastor, there are things that I know how to do. I tell people, if I look at a space long enough, I'll know what to do with it. Come on, I have a master's in architecture, for crying out loud. I know how to do those things. So when I got into doing Airbnb stuff and those kind of things, that was money saved. I didn't need to employ nobody. I took the plans. I put the chairs and the sofas and all of those things where I needed to put them. And hey, I'm not using this to market myself. But if you have not stayed in my apartment, you don't know what you're missing. Like it's really good. Even if I say so myself, ask Dr. Steven. He's been in some of them, and they're really cool. They're really good. All right. So find the things you're good at, the things that are easy to do. You see, at times we make other streams of income look like something very difficult. But do you know that everything we need is inside us? The Bible is clear. Oh man, your help is within thee. Your help is if you can look inwards, you will find attributes, you will find things you can do. Some people are good with administration. Can you just begin to help people put order in their organization? Some are good with security. They just enter a place and they can say, oh, this exit, this entrance, if they do like this, if they do like that, they should be able to do like that. It comes to them naturally. Can you build a business around those things? And if need be, get more training on it so that you can increase the value proposition that you bring. So I think when it comes to streams of income, two things come to play. The things that you can do naturally and opportunities. Opportunities. A few years ago, I had a friend that was importing grapes and veggies from South Africa into Nigeria. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. But like that's what I'm saying. Opportunities are going to show up from time to time, and it's you being ready. It's you having. And that was just a normal conversation. Larry, I'm doing this thing. Oh, I have 10 containers of grapes coming. I'm like, I don't understand. They say, oh, if you eat grapes in Lagos, you're probably eating my grapes. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I'm bringing in all these grapes from Egypt, and then I'm like, I'm supposed to even deliver like 25 containers, and I have only money for 23. And I'm like, dude, I'll buy the other two. Tell me, what does it cost to buy? Because he just ran the numbers for me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And we built that thing. We were doing 50 containers a week at the point in time.
Wow. But you were able to seize that opportunity because you saved money.
Truth.
Bingo.
True. So it's things that come to you, and when opportunities come, you are able to jump on them. All right. Like GTEX is doing some things in Houston now, and I'm looking, I'm sniffing. I can smell that Houston is going to be a big thing. So I can smell it. So I'm watching. I'm watching my dollar account, and I'm waiting.
You need to start watching and smelling and start eating.
Anyways, yeah.
That's good. That's good, man. This is great. This is really good.
Think of the things that they can do naturally and be ready when opportunity comes. Streams of income.
Excellent. Awesome.
Let me
yes, go ahead.
Let me also say this. And for some stream of income, people should know that it may not be lifetime. It may just be for a season. At times, our problem is we're trying to make a lifetime out of an opportunity that was supposed to be there for just a season.
Wow.
So you should be able to know when you get into that S-curve and it's coming down, get off that boat.
Wow.
Get off that boat. All right.
That's deep, man. Thank you so much for dropping those gems. Before we transition, are there any other questions for Mr. Lanre or Pastor Lanre? Any other questions in the
Let's go.
All right, let me see. Okay. All right, I don't see any questions, so I assume that everybody's good. So, Mr. Lanre, if anybody want to reach out to you, how can they find you? What are your social media handles?
Lanre Olusha on Instagram and on Facebook and on X.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for dropping these gems. We greatly appreciate it. And God bless you bountifully, sir.
I have one. Deepak, can I chip in a question?
Yeah, sure.
Doctor,
I don't know if you heard me. I told him that he needs to stop sniffing and smelling this Houston project and start eating.
I have a question for those who are into non-profits, whether ministry, NGO, charity, and things like that.
Yeah.
How do you think they can better structure their finances?
See, Doctor, yeah, you've touched a very sensitive issue. A lot of it is programming, is wiring. A lot of it is, see, these things are not hard to do. They're not hard to do. But when you're coming from a background where you have been told for years that all you should do is study and pray and be a blessing to the people, forgive my being a bit carnal. My worry for that is you now pass the responsibility of my sustenance. Watch this. The responsibility of my sustenance to people. And I know that people have free will. And I know that it is possible that God will move Dr. Stephen Akitaya, for instance, to give me $1 million. And he knows that that $1 million is for Pastor Larry. But because Dr. Stephen has, and I'm giving an example, has free will, he can decide that, you know what, I have this project first. God will look for another way to get that money to me, but time has passed. And in the time that has passed, I have suffered unnecessarily. And that's why I keep saying, apart from where God gives you an express instruction, you must understand that your whole life is a ministry. When we gave our life, we gave everything. We gave everything. So if there is a business aspect of it, it's still ministry. If there's a teaching aspect of it, it's still ministry. So what I say is this: there are things that they can begin to do. For instance, when you and I had our discussion, I think the second time we met, and there were things that you told me. Do you know that from creating my own mentoring circle, from my business people, my career people, sharing my experience with them and giving value without begging them for money, without asking them to give me anything, the income that has come from that, from free will giving in my direction, has basically doubled. You know, so I feel that there are ways that people, especially the ones in ministry, what of writing books? What of doing podcasts? What of doing paid seminars? There are several things that we'll do, but the first and the biggest obstacle is jumping over that wall that says full-time ministry means you can't do anything else. At least from my experience, that's what I think is the biggest issue. For them, you see, someone just put YouTube channels. You know, they're different things, and I hope that somebody, yeah.
Thank you, Pastor.
All right, thank you very, very much.
All right, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you for dropping these gems. So at this time, we want to bring on our next speaker, who I actually call him Udogo. You know, he's I've been fortunate to know him for I think maybe 5 or 6 years now. And you know, I always tell people that, you know, where you go in life has to do with the people you have in your inner circle, right? If everybody around you are poor, if your 5 closest friend that you have are poor, you'll be number 6. If your 5 closest friends are rich, you'll be number 6 because you become like the people that you associate with. And you know, in associating with Dr. Stephen over the last 6 years, I mean, I can certainly say that I've learned a lot from him. As a matter of fact, my first book that I published that became a bestseller on Amazon came as a result of me just hearing that, you know, he's published or, you know, over 30 books at that time. So just hearing that alone inspired me to write books, and now I'm on book number 5, right? And that's what happens when you associate with people who are phenomenal. So, when you associate with people who have a vision, and they have great work ethics. So with that being said, I want you to grab your pen and paper. I want you to get in a place where you can actually listen to what gems Dr. Stephen Akintayo, my good friend, who visits me once in a while in Maryland graciously, even though sometimes I'm not available, but I still appreciate the love. So yeah, with that being said, man, help me appreciate Dr. Stephen as he drops the last session for this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deepo, for graciously hosting today's session. And at least, we've been able to prove to those who are non-Nigerians that even though I don't have American accent, I have somebody who can speak American accent. But it's good to have you, and I want to thank all our speakers. Shola Adeshakin dropped it big time. That was really very superb. And of course, my guy, Pastor Lanre Olusheye, was fantastic. And for me, how many of you found this session very relatable? And I think that's one of the unique thing about Pastor Larry. You need to sit under his, when he preach, it's so relatable. It's like he's talking to you, personally, and you can connect, you can feel, what he's saying. So please help me once again celebrate all these amazing people for just coming to share and impact and add value in an unusual way. Come on, guys. I thought you guys can do it better. I'd like you to go to all of them social media handle, all of them, because these guys made a lot of sacrifice to be here, right? From yesterday's speakers, today's speakers, go to their handle and just say thank you. Action Jackson, go to his page, tag him, and just say thank you, Action Jackson, for the session. Mr. and Mrs. Ajayi, they use Nugget, Career Nugget is the handle. Just go at Career Nugget on IG, right? And all the speakers, just go say thank you to them. I promise you, Mrs. Betty Rabo, let them know that you appreciate them, okay? Today, I will be taking on how to increase your family income, reduce your family liabilities, as professionals and entrepreneurs. So I want to make it very relatable. So this session will apply if you're an entrepreneur. We'll look into your case. If you are a professional, you work in an organization, this is equally good for you. So how do you increase and reduce your liabilities? Okay, sorry, how do you increase your income and then reduce your liability, your family liabilities? And I will start by saying that one of the major conversation we need to look at all through this conference is that, or the easiest way to put it, if you are going to be rich as a family, then you must produce more than you consume. It's as simple as that. Right, wealthy families are consumers, are producers, sorry. They produce more than they consume. Poor families consume more than they produce. Just like Pastor Larry was sharing earlier, the black tax, those who put you on that black tax, the question is, what are they really producing? Aside that they emotionally blackmail you to give them money, what value are they adding to the world? What value are they adding to people? And oftentimes I've connected with people in my one-on-one coaching sessions, whether it's families. And the first thing I say, well, we need to increase your revenues. We need to create multiple channels if we're going to make you financially free. But at the same time, we also talk about how do we block many leakages, right? Because there are certain things that are obviously taking your money, right? There are certain things you shouldn't be putting your money into. And once you can structure those things, you're in a better position to start building wealth. So, well, welcome everyone. I'd like you to go invite everyone, share this video, get everybody back on this show. I know it's afternoon time, but share the link and get everybody back here, and let's have a great time. The first thing I'm going to be sharing is skill development and education, right? When you want to increase your family income, you have to increase the skill set of your family, right? Skill set of your family. And it's very important. Oftentimes I look at my family, and my family, in my case, because I'm an entrepreneur, include those who work in our organization. And I'm always saying, how do we add to their skill set? How do we give them exposure? How do we make sure they are more skillful? We recently got a new director of training, and I told him, I said, every month going forward, we must bring professionals to start training our team on the areas, that existing area of skill, but people who can give them latest skill set, latest value, because the more the skill set of GTEx Holding rise, the more income we will make, right? But in your family is the business. And I want you to type, everybody say, I am the CEO of my family. Come on, everybody type it in the chat box. I am the CEO of my family. Come on, everybody. I am the CEO of my family. So if you are the CEO of your family, you have to do the same thing we're talking about. You have to sit down and analyze, how do we grow the skills of everybody in this family? How do we make them more skillful? How do we make them better skilled to be able to make more money? Now, as a professional, I want us to know that when we talk about skill set, and I see us do more of this in our part of the world is changing. Sometimes the skill set is that you need an MBA and you need a PhD. Absolutely. But guess what? Sometimes the skill set is a certification. Sometimes the skill set is knowing how to use an ERP. Okay? I'll give you an example. I see people shout, I want to japa, right? I need to japa, I need to leave Nigeria, I'm going to Canada, I'm going to the US. Do you know that even if you have PhD, if you do not know how to use certain ERP, whether by Oracle or other companies that develop ERP systems, you will not get a good job, right? So yes, you have this degree, but for them, the problem is that you just can't fit into the organization because you work within the organization through that software. And so going to get a certification in that software before you leave Nigeria might just be what will turn your life around by the time you relocate. Come on, guys, talk to me. I will learn. If you're learning, type I'm learning. Right? So do not just, when it comes to skill set and education, don't do what everybody's doing. Don't just, you have to come up with something customized to your situation, right? What is the skill set that is unique to your situation? I'll give you a practical example. I, as Stephen Akitayo, what are the skill sets that is unique to my situation right now? It's not a master's, it's not a PhD, it's not a becoming a professor, but guess what? It's more networking, because I have a deficiency in one of my, and I want to give us this assignment, so everybody write it down. I want you to write down, okay, 5 competitive advantage that you have in this world and in anywhere you get to. And I want you to write down 5 disadvantage that you have as a person. And you must get up to 5. Don't tell me I only have 2. Some of you can get 5 advantage, but you can't get 5 disadvantage. Please, as I'm a number 1 today, 5 of each. Now, one of my own disadvantage is that I wasn't from a rich family. Number 1. Number 2, I did not even grow up in in the southern part of Nigeria. Okay, so suddenly, through grace of God, hard work, doing all this hustle, I am not at a level, but guess what? I don't know too many people that will help sustain the level I am in. Oh, I'm not sure somebody gets what I'm talking about. So as a result, one of the skill I must develop better and faster is networking, particularly with high net worth individuals. I have to hone that skill. So today now, as a rule, if a training is not $10,000, $20,000, I don't even go. And it's not because of it. It's not because I'm trying to brag or show off money. No, it's because by default, like I told you, I didn't know too many wealthy people. Fortunately or unfortunately, every project I do is big money now. Are we learning? Do we understand what I'm talking about? I found myself in real estate. Average project is so $1 million. This $1 million, I need billions of dollars. In the next 12 years, I need to find a way, ladies and gentlemen, to raise $20 billion if I will be able to complete 25,000 green and smart homes by the year 2035. Now, with due respect to you, if you are not rich, apologies. But honestly, it's rich people that can help me raise that funds. You must have that money. So now I have to work on that skill. So please, when we say one of the things you need to work on to increase your income is skill development and education, understand that it has to be customized to you. That's why I'm giving you that assignment. Go and write down 5 advantages. Go and write down 5 disadvantages. Now, one of my advantages, I'm a bold guy. Okay? Worst case, it will fail, and then I'll try it again. It will fail, and then I'll try it again. It will fail, and then I'll try it again. It will fail. And then I try it again. At some point, the universe will make it work. That's one of my strengths. But hey, I still have other weaknesses. So I have to build skills in the area of my weakness. So if they are doing course on boldness, I'm not sure I necessarily want to go. I'm already bold. I remember saying to someone, I said, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. And I said, I'm happy I don't because I'm naturally high. I'm calm by disposition. I'm always gentle by look. But trust me, don't let that gentleness fool you. I'm naturally high. Okay? High. So thank God I don't do drugs or drink because that would have made me a disaster. So if they are doing training on how to be bold, I don't think that's really what I need. But if they are doing training on some other areas, okay, that I'm not as skillful in, I want to go there. I hope we are learning here. And this skill should not just be for you. Maybe you are the CEO of the home, you are the husband, you are the wife. It should be for your children. It should be for everybody in that family. Okay? Develop the skill. Number 2, investment and savings. And a lot of our speakers have talked about this a lot of the time. So my angle on investment and savings is number 1, investment. There are 3 types of investments: high risk, mid risk, and low risk. Spread your money across the 3 categories. And it's important to also know that you will lose money when it comes to investment. It's natural. Lose it, learn, and move on. I just lost 5 acres on one of our estates because the government is doing coastal road. 5 acres. Now, if it was just the 5 acre I lost, Shebi, you will say no wahala. But the fence I built, the road, the sand filling, I'm looking at a cost of almost 500 million naira now being lost. Okay? Now, the upside to that is that my estate is now facing the coastal road, which has, make the value of the estate go extremely higher. So whatever is left is now more than double because of that particular road. But for me to now say, Anytime you tell me about real estate again, I will never do it. I lost 500 million, Kinikon, I will not trust any government. I will not, That's not how it works. And I think that's where many of us have missed it, right? By the way, thank you, those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, watching this conference. Thank you for watching. And I love your comment. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I need your energy, guys. All of you watching across all social media platforms, we're streaming, right? So it's important that you understand that you must know you lose some, you win some. But for you to fold your hands and say, I'm smarter than everybody, I will never, take a risk. I'll never do any investment. It's foolishness at the highest level. In fact, I call it foolishness pro max. I've had people say to me, Dr. Steven, I'm smart. I don't do all these investments, all a scam. And the question I ask them, all this while you've never done any investment, are you richer? Come on, how many of you notice what I'm talking about? The so-called people who will tell you, I've never taken any risk. I've never done any business. I've never done any investment. The question is, are they richer? Come on, everybody. Answer me, are they richer? Go check their lives. It's the same thing with those, who, talking about giving in church. I believe in giving. Those who have refused not to give, are they richer? Because everybody's giving, right? Everybody's giving, including those who are not who are not Christians. Bill Gates is an atheist, but tell me how many Christians, including those paying tithes, are giving as much as Bill Gates is doing. Particularly, you look at what's going on with Bill Gates Foundation and Melinda Gates Foundation. If you look at what Dangote is doing, every rich man is a giver, irrespective of their religion. And those who have refused to give, how wealthy are they? Are we learning, guys? If you're learning, type I'm learning. I want to be sure the network is good. If you're learning, type I'm learning. Good. So, the same thing with the subject of wealth. You can only be as rich as your risk appetite. In fact, let me say this, and everybody should write it down. Money is a reward for risk taking. Come on, everybody type that quote. Money is a reward for risk taking, period. All this grammar, money is a reward for risk taking. Anytime you make money legitimately, it was just a reward for the risks you took. If you're an employee in an organization, every time they give you salary, what is the salary? It's a reward for risking it, risking the last 30 days, choosing to work for that company. True of us. Every time your company pay you salary is a reward for risking it to work for that company for the last 30 days. True of us. And it's a risk as well. Because within that last 30 days, the company could have shut down within that period. And you may end up not even getting anything. Right? So money, anytime you make legitimate money, it was a risk for it was a reward for the risk you've taken. It's as simple as that. Because it may come, it may not come. Now, to the concept of savings, the book I want to recommend, I've always recommended, is The Richest Man in Babylon. Everybody type it, Richest Man in Babylon. Go get the book, even if you have gone through it. There are two major books I like to go through. About 4 books I like to go through every year. I'm not one of those people who brag about having read 1,000 books in my lifetime. You know why? One of the books I started reading is called God's General. 24 Hours in Hell. A lot of those Christian books, I can't remember most of what I read in those books. So I need to read them again. So one of the things I've learned is to have some special books that have certain real core information for me. And I just go over them again every year, right? So 2 of those books is the Greatest Salesman That Ever Lived. The Greatest Salesman That Ever Lived by Otman Dingo. Everybody please write it down. The Greatest Salesman That Ever Lived by Otman Dingo. Powerful book. And the second one is The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay, and these things like Mrs. Shola talked about earlier, saving is easy if you understand that, one, it has to be gradual but consistent. There's no point saving big money if you will not be consistent with the culture of savings. But more importantly is also that you must prioritize that money being saved must be invested, because it's of no use if you don't eventually invest the money. So some people just enjoy saving money, just enjoy it. Okay, any money you save and you don't invest actually has depreciated. Please, everybody write it down. Every money you save that you actually do not invest has depreciated. And it's as a result of something called inflation. So every year, the value of every currency depreciates virtually every year. The inflation in Nigeria is 30%, some say 33%. Inflation in America, I think, is about 4% or more, right? So every country, that inflation just helps you to talk about the fact that, hey, your money has lost value by that percentage. So the Nigerian naira you kept in your account, even though the 10 million naira is there, but what they're saying is that your money the 10 million can only buy what you used to. Is that worth 7 million? That's what it just means when you say 30% inflation. In other words, what you used to buy with 7 million a year ago, before that inflation came, right, is what you will now need to buy with the 10 million you have in your account. Are we learning? Okay. Number 3 thing you want to do if you want to increase your family income and decrease your family liability is budgeting and expense management. And I think Ms. Shola talked about budgeting. It's simple as ABC. See, today, in my house, you can ask my wife, we live on a budget. We live on a budget. If my wife, except there is something, unusual that happens. So one of the unusual things that has happened recent time is that if you are in band A, is it band A? Okay, now you pay 4 times the electricity bill. Okay, if you live in band A, right? So that is something that has shook the system and is making me to increase the family budget as a result of that particular thing, right? And things like that. But typically, till today, if my family decide to shoot their budget, they go work as well. They go do business as well, and then they complement it. But we live on a budget. There's an amount every month we spend, and we don't shoot that. So I don't care how rich you are, you need to have a budget for your family. You need to, and Pastor Larry talked about it, you need to have a budget for giving. That's what he was talking about. Be careful about black tax. If you don't budget how much you give and when you give, people will just lay unnecessary demand on you, okay, and expect you to just fulfill those demands even when you don't budget it. And I think it's pure nonsense. Okay, it's pure nonsense. There must be a budget. And he was so right. Pastor Larry is so right. When you become strict with your family members, over time they adjust. They adjust because they know they can't manipulate you. Because Africans were quite cunning, right? And sometimes people act as if they're angry, but they are playing a script. Let's embarrass him. By the time we embarrass him, he will release the money. Let's do this. By the time we do this, he will, and as you get richer and bigger, ladies and gentlemen, you must build a thick skin. You must build a thick skin. If you don't build a thick skin, people will bully you and still think they can go scot-free. People will steal from you and still think they can go scot-free. People will mess you up and still think there's nothing you can do. I'm telling you, particularly in the African system. So you have to build a thick skin. if you like, blackmail me, it's your business. But I'm not going to give you what you are not entitled to. I will not do it. Right? And the higher you rise, the more you must know you will face these things. So when you see people go through something, and that's why as you grow higher, be careful how you judge people at the top. You really don't know what's going on. Right? You don't know what's going on. So sometimes it's easy to just say, why did the person do it? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? You don't know what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. So don't just take everybody's words for it. It sounds sweet. Everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has what they are planning to do. I remember someone was talking to me recently and said, oh, I did something to someone, right? I told the person, oh, I'm busy with Dr. Stephen. I don't have his time. I said, I had to see the person that I said, first of all, how did I get to know you? Is it not through this person? Do you think I would have given you the attention I gave you if not that I know that this person is close to you, and if you misbehave, I can report you to him? I said, now you need to go and apologize to him, because the fact that you felt he didn't take you serious, okay? And then I took you serious. And then you want to use me to spite him. Are we learning, everybody? Are we learning here? And this is why you must also learn as you grow, so that people don't put you in the mix and use you to settle scores, and you don't even know that they're trying to use your brand and your personality to settle scores. And then you see people, I'm learning recently. You see people misbehave and react to you. You don't even know what. You are just being nice to somebody you met. Meanwhile, the person has used you to go and say, you see, Sivakta is my guy. Like I can call Pastor Larry my guy. Just because Sivakta is my guy. Oh yeah, you compared to Sivakta, who you be. And he's using you to just play some game. So what are we saying here? If you don't structure your life, people will mess it up for you, and they will still claim some rights of some sort. Are we learning here? If we're learning type, we're learning. Now, let me bring this home so that I can share some practical experience with us. Practical experience. I pastor for a good portion of my life, I pastored. Right? If I sum it all together, I started pastoring since GSS 3. I pastored my fellowship since GSS 3. And I practically started pastoring since that time. And one of the things that happened, by the time I graduated, I went straight into business. I was ordained again, a pastor in a headquarters church. And I had a branch to manage. It was a zonal center. And I was the pastor there. And they had this bursary program that our founder used to do to support people. Now, this season, my business had challenges. I shut down my office. I couldn't renew the rent. I started operating from home. I couldn't employ any staff. I was already even owing them. And so I was just working from home. And my son was our first son. And can you imagine your first child was due to resume school? And it made sense for us to apply for this bursary so that the money we get from the bursary, we can then use it to pay my son's school. Right? Every member is entitled. And I remember saying to my wife, 2 reasons. She said she wanted to get the form and fill. I was the one giving everybody the form. So she came to, of course, her husband, aka a pastor as well. And I said to her, we're not going to fill this form. I said, why? We're more entitled than anybody. I said, we're not going to fill this form. I said 2 things. I said, number 1, what if for some reason we're the only one they pick in our zone for this bursary? What do you think the other members will think? Wouldn't they think that we lobbied in a way that it was only us that got it? And that already ridicules my leadership. Number two, we have in this same church given millions. We're just in a phase where things are bad. If my son need to not resume school, I mean, after all, I mean, sometimes they say children need to be 7 years before they resume school. We will not be the first. Let him stay at home. And you can imagine my wife backing the son or working with him across and be, you know, in Yoruba, your son hasn't resumed school. And then we, of course, had to be giving all the excuses. Oh, you know, we want him to grow older. You know, you will resume the next time. You know, what are they even teaching them at this age? Right? But I said to her, I said, one day, our children will be attending the best schools, right? Anywhere in the world we live. Today, that is the story. Okay? In fact, the money I pay for my children's school fees, I mean, I had an issue where, I mean, of course, you know, in our time, ASU strike and all of that. So I was supposed to do a 5-year program in the university. I did 8 years in the university, plus my house rent, school fees, plus everything I spent on myself in 8 years is not up to what I pay for my children in one term today. Okay? But and I want us to write this down. Life is in phases. Men are in sizes. Live your size pattern. Life is in phases. Men are in sizes. Live your size pattern. At a phase of your life, cut down some things. At a phase of your life, you may not need a car. At a phase of your life, one car is enough. At a phase is a phase, and it doesn't take anything from you. I mean, I've never really done this pity party. I've always enjoyed the phases that I'm, and nobody can put me under undue pressure. Oh, you should be higher than this. I remember somebody came to our office one time in Ogba, okay, and was telling me, Dr. Sivi, your fame is up and down. I'm a bit disappointed in your kind of office. You've outgrown this office. Well, I did not allow his nonsense to disturb me. I still remained in that office for 2 more years. Today, the same me have offices in Dubai, have in Ikoyi, have anywhere you want to talk about. Everybody type is in faces. So don't let people, because I realize that the reason why people go out of budget, the reason why people don't manage expenses well, we allow pressure. You know, people just put pressure. People just, you know, want to compare you. One time, somebody was saying, you know, I was on a live show talking about a Katie project and that we're raising funds. You know what somebody said? He said, when did you see, which day did you see Dangote come to social media to raise funds? When Dangote was at my age and at my level, was there social media? Everybody answer that question. You see how many of you allow people put you on without thinking deep. Was there even social media? Now, the equivalent of social media in Dangote's days, did he not use them? Talk to me, guys. Did he not use them? Who in this country has not given Dangote money? Is it state government? Is it federal government? Is it CBN? Is it banks? Virtually all the banks in this country has borrowed Dangote money. So why will you allow somebody sit somewhere and is talking trash? What they don't even know, right? And you are then feeling guilt-trapped. You're literally feeling bad because somebody's comparing with somebody you really are not at their level. And I remember saying to that person, I said, watch when I'm Dangote's age. See where I will be. Watch what I will control when I'm Dangote's age. Watch it. So don't put yourself under undue pressure. Put yourself under undue pressure. Life is in phases. Men are in sizes. Live your size part time. They say you are not up to it. It's their business. Let them mock you. Let God make you. One time, someone will say, he doesn't even wear designers. My answer is that all the richest people in the world, which of them wear designers? From Elon Musk to Bill Gates. Come on, everybody. I want you to put your hand on your chest. Everybody, we will do this now. From today, I make a vow that I will not allow anyone guilt trap me to overshooting my budget, to overspending my money. I will not allow anyone guilt trip me to wasting my money. So help me God. Come on, how many of you are excited? You must work on your self-esteem so that nobody puts on due pressure. Life is in phases. Life is in phases. Ladies and gentlemen, I went to visit my landlord and partner, a very good friend, Dr. Rushewa, yesterday. And it dawned on me when I entered his office that was my first office in Abuja. It was a rented office, right? He had done a JV. He was a good friend of mine, but he had done a JV. Now, the office he now used was the one I was renting with him. And all of us in one room office in Abuja, all the staff in Abuja, all of us. And guess when? Can anybody guess when this was? That's our company office in Abuja, one room office rented. Can anybody guess? When? Come on. 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Somebody should guess quickly. Nancy Ojo, are you using? Shena Juju be that? How did you know? 7 years ago. Now, hear this. 7 years after, in the same Abuja, we have 4 estates already owned by us. 4. I think I'm looking at the total size of all of it, about 100 acres in 4 locations. Our office in Abuja now, we own it, is in one of our estates in Abuja. Built by us, owned by us, operated by us, using solar in 7 years. So, hey, what God cannot do does not exist. You see that those who didn't come for this afternoon session are missing, eh? What God cannot do does not exist. Number next, these are ways to manage your debts, right? Debt management. And I'll give you a few. And I'll start by telling you a story of when I was in debt. So, and by the way, when in my case, I never took a loan, but I ran into debt. And how many of you are entrepreneurs here, by the way? Let me just take a poll. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Can I see entrepreneurs? Okay, if you're a professional, just type professional. If you're an entrepreneur, just type entrepreneur. Just want to see. Professional, type professional. Entrepreneur, type entrepreneur. You can't tell me you are both. Which one is your main, your primary at the moment? You're either entrepreneur or you're professional. Yes, you can have other investments. You can call them investment, but your core major income, entrepreneurship, or you're professional. Okay, good. Now, my experience when it comes to debt had to do with my company. But the company was still small then, so you can almost call it still my debt, right? And it was a situation we represented a university is it Hungary or you? I shared it with Chudi. Chudi interviewed me recently with Chudi. You should go and watch it on his platform. And I shared a lot of stories about my journey. And I was representing this university. The professor came to Nigeria and spoke to everybody and say, hey, for you to get this admission, you will pay 100,000. So at that time, this was 2012. You pay 100,000 processing fee, non-refundable. He told them himself. So it wasn't even something that they would say, he told them, right? So they can't deny it. But guess what? at the end of the day, I think they were using an EU funding, and because something went wrong with the EU funding, they refused to give my students their what's it called, their admission. Before you know it, they all wanted refund on the non-refundable administrative fees coming in, right? They all suddenly want refunds on the administrative fee that we had told them is not refundable. Again, like I told you, business was bad. I couldn't renew my office. So I was in debt, I was all of that. And I took everything as this must be spiritual attack, because it was the first time I was having such an experience. And I will tell you even the lessons, and that's why I'm sharing this story, so that you can learn from the lessons. And I remember at the end of the year, I just said to myself, I'm going to church. We're at 21-day fasting. I'm just going to go and pray, and that's it. And I gave my phones to one of my executives that work with me, and hey, you know what? Just be picking my call. Anybody that calls, just explain things to them and all of that. Unfortunately for me, my assistant, maybe because of the pressure, you know how debt-related issue can be. He was not picking anybody's call, right? Before you know it, everybody was apprehensive. They were worried. And I had one of the most horrible experience of my life. Horrible, horrible. Even transactions that were not even my company, maybe we refer people, you see people just being agitated because we had shut down our office, we couldn't even renew the rent. And so when they went to the office, and he taught me one of the first lessons of debt management, and you should write it down. Always communicate. The biggest mistake you can make when you are owing people is to be unavailable. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. Make sure you are available, right? I remember by the time I pick up, I got my phone back. Some of the people that I would, of course, was owing. One of them, of course, is, when my story changed, she even sent an apology because she was brutal. She would call me, and almost for 1 hour, she's cursing me on phone. Almost for 1 hour. Right? Literally cursing me on phone. And remember, I didn't borrow money from them. These were customers who suddenly, and that's why today, for those of you entrepreneurs, I have strong refund policies. In fact, on some of my social media, I even put no refund, right? Anywhere you like, take me to. I don't do refund. So if you want to buy anything from me, think it well. I'm not forcing you to buy it. But you choose to buy it, I don't do refund, right? And you can blackmail me the way you want, that's your business, but I don't do refund. Because I learned from that particular experience. Because now I had used these people's 100,000 to pay DHL, to process their document, to send it to Hungary. And you want the refund of it, 100%. Okay, so the question is, my office bill, my staff salary, the DHL money, the document, which one can I get back? How do you expect me to get it back? And these are part of the challenges of entrepreneurship that many of you need to face. And that's why you need mentorship. As an entrepreneur, you need someone to mentor you to know what are the challenges you're going to face as an entrepreneur. And how do you structure your businesses against some of these challenges, which are normal. But after that experience, I learned, number one, you must pick the call. No matter the insult, you must pick the call. And hear this, everybody. Number two, the insult will only build your resilience. The insult will only build your resilience, because guess what? It is really, really lonely at the top. The higher you go, the higher the pressure. And if even at this level, okay, God does not help you to build capacity to manage pressure, Okay? When you now even get higher, do you know how many crises I have avoided at this phase of my life because I have a thick skin? I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. Practically, I will sometimes suddenly just read somebody, right? There was one, I was just reading on, the thing was on one blog that I'm owing a guy 75 million. I don't know him. I've never met him. I remember calling my lawyer. He said he sold one land for us. We were supposed to pay him a commission. And I told the lawyer, I called the lawyer, I said, is this true? I saw this. And they put my picture. And the guy wrote it like it was me and him. It was the two of us. Right? In fact, Stephen Akintayo, he didn't even put the company. And so I called the lawyer. Those ones, in fact, it was so bad that the person who sold the land, we had to call him and say, this your agent. This became a police case, by the way. And the man who owned the land said, I don't even know this agent. I don't know him. That was his statement with the police. I don't know this guy. And this guy said he's owed 75 million and was practically writing. Even TV station, if he sees that I go to Channels Television today, he will do a petition to Channels Television. True story. Right? Now, if I had not built thick skin from the challenges I've gone through, you know what will have happened? I will be the one every day anybody writes anything about me to then popularize that statement, because I will suddenly do what? I will be the one to now write a disclaimer. How many people really, even all of you here, how many of you even heard of this story I'm telling you, if not, I told you? But I will be the one, because I don't have a thick skin, I will then start articles, start telling everybody stories that they didn't ask me. Right? Go into pity party mood, and I am now the one messing up my reputation. I will learn in here. But because I had built thick skin from challenges I've been through, right? We'll quietly get our lawyers to manage it and deal with the person. Of course, the person will be dealt with, but in a way that doesn't even further just mess up your reputation. Are we learning here? So you must build a thick skin. You must learn. And some of this, you should go through it with all sense of responsibility. Don't avoid picking somebody's call. If you are owing somebody, pick their call. Even today, I teach those who work in our company. If somebody is a vendor of GText and then their money is due at a particular period and GText hasn't paid, call the person. Be the one to call the person and say, hey, I'm the accountant of this company. I'm supposed to pay you this money at so time. Give me some more time. My cash flow isn't working the way I want. I'll get back to you. You know, but unfortunately, most of us, it's an African thing. How many of you agree with me it's an African thing? We struggle, okay, to confront our crisis, to confront our demons, to confront our challenges. We understand what I'm talking about. We rather want to run away. We rather don't want to pick the call. We rather switch off our phone. We rather want to be avoiding the people. Number one rule of debt management, pick the person's call. Respond to them. Number three, I think, okay, agree on a repayment plan. Everybody say agree on a repayment plan. Agree on a repayment plan. How will I pay you back this money? Okay? And it doesn't matter how little, because some of us will not say, he will not agree. He will not agree. He will not. It doesn't matter. What is your cash flow? So to give you context, because I want this to be relatable stories, guys. At this phase, remember, I shut down my office, no more business practically, operating from home. My wife was a copper. Our income was, I think, 19 something. Okay? All I could promise the person is 5,000 naira every month. Because out of the 19 something, my wife was pregnant. We have to eat for the month. We can only spare 5,000 naira to repay that debt. 5,000 naira. Ladies and gentlemen, every month. But guess what? God showed up. One day, a miracle happened. I sold them. I did my biggest transactions at that time, a 30 million naira deal, and we cleared all the debts. And I became financially free. But it was important to have at least come to an agreement to say, for now, and be open, be transparent. Let them know your current situation. Be vulnerable. It's messy. It's petty. It's bad. But go through it. Are we learning, guys? Go through it. Go through it. It's a phase. It's a phase. Who is excited about today's class? I think I should even wrap up here. Who is excited? Huh? Who is excited? Who thinks you needed this? This was important. Insurance is the next thing I want to talk about. Insurance, right? Make sure you have insurance. A lot of us, I mean, and Deepo is going to come take us. I don't know whether it's tomorrow or next tomorrow. He's a beast in that. I don't know which insurance. I know Americans are watching, but we also have a lot of non-Americans. We have people in UK, Canada. So I don't know whether there are programs for non-Americans as well, but he will teach us generally about insurance so we can go to whichever insurance works in our country. And if you still want to do the one in the US, of course, he will be willing to help you. Don't underestimate insurance. Car insurance, house insurance, life insurance, health insurance. And I always advise, do the type of insurance that allows you to earn something. Do the type of insurance that allows you to earn something. Okay? Certain insurance allows you to earn something in the case where you don't have any health issues. So don't look at it like I'm just wasting money. No. It's almost one of the lowest. Remember when I talked about the low risk investments? Insurance is one of it. There are certain insurance, and Deepa will teach you more, that comes with annual returns. Low risk, low returns, but it's fine, right? In the case of emergency, they are able to give you something that can take good care of you. Is this good? Okay? So I can start wrapping up. Career advancement. So look for an opportunity to advance your career through learning soft skills. Everybody says soft skills. Emotional intelligence is a soft skill you need to begin to learn. Networking, I talked to you about that. You know, managing conflicts, being direct, ability to work under pressure. These are soft skills that you want to begin to acquire to advance your career. That things I've done sometimes, it makes me look like a fool, but I'm not a fool. Okay? I'm not a fool. There's a situation where I keep quiet for a while. Okay? But I know where I'm going. So many of us have, stagnated our career because of attitude. And it's because of this culture of, I can't obey anybody. Nobody can talk to me anyhow. I'll give it to them. I know send their father. And we bring this attitude to play. And this attitude had created, career stagnation. So if you need to go and work, go to a counselor, read books that can help you to manage your own self-esteem and know when to be quiet. It's not all battles you fight. Let me give you my strategy for war. Number one strategy for, I'll give you just one. I cannot fight you at your own time. I choose when I go to war. So I've seen situations where people have tried to make me fight them. Okay? And that fight I want to fight. But I will not fight it at their terms. I will not. Right? I will not. So this is not to ask you to be jelly. This is not telling you to be a baby. This is not telling you to how do I put it now? I'm not asking you, because for you to succeed in this world is a tough world. right? And you can't always be playing victim all the time. But always fight at your own pace. Don't let people just drag you into something you're not prepared for. And that's why many of you always end up losing. Something you should be patient. Who knows whether if you are patient enough, you will soon be the boss of the man or the woman who is victimizing you in your career. Who knows? Right? That if you are patient enough. Who knows that if you are patient enough, you will soon be a CEO that, guess what? One day somebody is asking for a job. It was your former boss. And I've had so many of such humbling experience where people I used to look up to eventually needed a job from me. Right? People who treated me bad eventually came back begging me, needing my help. Wake up. You must know when to fight. Are we learning, guys? If we're learning type, I'm learning. Okay? Lastly, tax planning. Don't just start making money without being aware of tax implications. It's another thing to build wealth. It's another thing to save wealth and sustain wealth. It's very, very important, right? It's very, very important. Very, very important, right? Rich people, they can say they're escaping paying taxes. They can say whatever. Number one rule, a lot of rich people always they don't put assets in their name. They make sure that most of the assets is in a company, right? In many countries, by your asset being in your company, it just reduces your tax, number one. Because in some countries, personal income tax is as high as 35%, 40% in Europe, right? Meanwhile, company tax is maybe 30%. Are we learning, guys? Depending on how much the company is making. Are we learning? Okay, so you have to get a professional person to guide you on how do you plan your taxes so that you don't overpay. And then you don't have a situation where you think you're making money, but everything's gone in taxes, right? And you're not even able to build wealth at all because, hey, everything's gone, gone, not to even be seen. So, but get a professional so that you're also not breaking the law while doing that. How many of you would like to come for this event? You can see this is the CEO Leadership Retreat, ladies and gentlemen. And we're looking at managing, and we're looking at managing business to government relationship. Joshua, can you see that this first flyer has not been edited, right? This one, not been edited. So we're looking at managing business to government because I need you to know at a level, you now need to start doing B2G. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, right? You start at some point, C2C, B2C, your business to your customer, right? At a point, you grow to B2B, your business to other businesses. At a point, you grow to what we call B2G. That's where the Dangote and all of these top people are. They don't even, of course, it doesn't mean their business don't deal with customers. It means that most of their biggest income come from their interaction and partnership with government. So you are doing real estate. At some point, the best person who can sell land to you is the government, state, federal, right? You are into banking. You need to get government accounts. You are into, name it. And we have done justice. We have the former president of Nigeria, President Obasanjo, coming. There are some other head of states that are likely to join us for the event as well, but we haven't confirmed, so their picture is not here. I'm talking about African presidents who might likely join us for this event. I partner with Gotney, my friend Linus Okori, so we're doing the event together. I have 2 days strictly for me and you guys, and then we'll have 2 days as a partnership with his event and my event. We have founder of Heritage Bank, we have Dr. Akim Adishino, Professor Benedict Afrexim Bank, Justice Bello will tell you about law and how, and I hope, how many of you know that as your business go bigger, you and courts are 5 and 6. If you know, type, I know. If you don't know, type, I don't know. At the level of Tesla, at the level of Microsoft, at the level of Facebook, is court cases, judgments every day. It's part of, it's a lot of you don't know, right? And that's part of why you need conferences like this. Because let me tell you the challenges. Many of us are not mentally prepared for the breakthrough we are seeking. I don't know if you agree with me. Even this conference, how many of you have gotten your eye open to some dimension that is showing you that, I'm really, really not prepared mentally for certain things that I'm praying for. A lot of us are praying for so many things. We're praying for breakthrough, we're praying for growth. What we don't know is that growth also comes with certain issues. The bigger you get, the more some people just feel they can win by just taking you to court, by just messing up with you. And this is not about whether you're a good person or a bad person. Tyler Perry, I went to a conference some weeks ago, and Tyler Perry was sharing how one of his best movie, a lady just took him to court and said that Tyler Perry stole the movie script from him. Because at some point, Tyler Perry used to, like do scripts meetings for people who say they have good scripts and to see whether he can buy some of them and all of that. And maybe this woman was one of those people. But of course, her scripts had nothing to do with that my particular movie, but she sued him anyway. And at the end of the day, you have a situation where he had to, in fact, he said he was in another state. He would travel to that state, lodge, and it wasn't even this big then, go to court himself for every day of the city. Of course, he eventually won the case. But don't think that it's just about making money. Making money is one part of it, right? Yeah, you can. Making money is just one part of it. You don't need to back them, don't worry. No. Making money is just one part of it. Keeping the money is another part of it. And you want to be ahead. I want everybody to write this down. Be proactive in your knowledge acquisition. Everybody write it down. Be proactive in your knowledge acquisition. Everybody write it down. Be proactive in your knowledge acquisition. Right? In other words, be ahead. It shouldn't be when you run into trouble that you now need the required knowledge. Thank you. It's not when you run into trouble, you then need the required knowledge for that trouble you've run into. You should be proactive in your knowledge acquisition. So at this point, you are talking to people who run institutions, right? African Development Bank is a bank for Africa. Afrexim Bank is a bank for Africa. Professor Patrick Lumumba is going to be there, and several other great speakers who are coming. So you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a great time in Ghana. How do you attend? I don't know why they didn't put the website to register. Okay, the website is here. Visit www.steveactel.com/real estate CEO, and you can register on the website right now. There's a discount at the moment. I think it's ended the early bird discount, so try and get it on time. Next, by the way, I talked to you. How many of you heard me talk about this 12 months finance membership coaching program we're starting? How many of you heard about that? How many of you heard about that? Come on, talk to me. How many of you heard about that yesterday? If you did, type I did. If you didn't, type I didn't. I'm starting a 12 months holding you by the hand, you and your spouse. If your children are adults, they join the class as well. And what am I offering you in 12 months is an opportunity to really, really grow your income from 200 to 1,000%, your net worth, from 200 to 1,000%. And we will be taking weekly classes. You will be given money personality test. I think Adeshola talked about that. How you then know your weakness and your strength when it comes to dealing with money. We also look at money family test, where we measure everybody, member of the family, know everybody's strength, and advise on who should handle what okay, maybe based on this test, we will advise let the wife be holding the money if she's better with money, or let the husband. But guess what? Let the other party who is not good with money be the one to seek for investment and business opportunity, because that's the person who can take more risk. Are we learning here? So, and those tests are very critical to the foundation. So, and these are tests customized to us. You were creating it specifically for you guys. You will get access to a family finance conference workbook. This is like a workbook for this conference. Then you get a 12-month career investment and business worksheet. So in other words, if you're a career person, you have the worksheet for career, business person, worksheet for business, and then all of you get the worksheet for investment. It gives you a step-by-step guide to investment and practical actions you need to take on a daily basis towards turning your income and investment around. What else? Number 5, weekly coaching session. Weekly coaching session on Zoom. You know, you and your spouse. If you miss it, you get the recordings. You know, number 6, networking opportunity. You also meet successful people who are going somewhere, who are trying to move. Most of our speakers will be added to this particular program. You're able to network, interact with a lot of people who are going where you're going. And so you have a community that is rooting for you, right? We share testimonies on a regular basis on how we're all improving our journey of becoming better people in building wealth for our families. How many of you think you want to be part of this? If you want to be part of this type, I want to join this, right? What else do you get, right? You get 30 minutes one-on-one coaching with me every 4 months. You can book a 30 minutes, just you and your spouse, right? And we'll talk about the issues and how to resolve them. And trust me, I have anointing for wealth. Guys, show me anybody that started their business with $10 and is controlling what we control today. Show me that person, right? And this is, yes, knowledge, hard work, investment, but there's also this the spiritual dimension. When anybody commands something, there's also an aura. And by just hanging around them, listening to them, it contacts you. Environments are powerful, right? So, and I want to give a bonus for those of you who sign up for this today. Can I give you a bonus? Who wants a bonus? By the way, who wants to sign up right now so that you qualify for this bonus? I want to give you a few bonus. If you're signing up right now, so the first bonus is that we'll give you a 50% discount if you're signing up right now. Joshua, where is Joshua? I need you guys to help me pray for my executive assistant. Please help me pray for him, because the slide here does not have the website for people to buy this program. Okay, and he prepares my slide. Help me pray for Joshua. Okay, so we're giving a 50% discount. So instead of paying $500, you're paying $250 every month. That's 250,000 naira. Or you can go for the year package of $5,000, and instead of that, you can just pay $2,500. Okay, and you get that package. However, very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, very important. I want to give you some further bonus. So let me know those of you who are interested in getting it today. So here's the bonus I'll be giving those of you who are interested today. Number 1, I'll give you 1 year access to Stephen Akhtar University. Stephen Akhtar University is $250 every month, official, $247 every month. That's the official price. Sometimes we do discounts, so we give reduction. But multiply that by 12. That is almost $5,000 already. You're getting a whole year access free. Number 2 bonus, and this bonus is strictly for those who are signing up right now. Number 2, good news, you will be getting all my books for free. Let me see if I have the flyer with my books. Yes, you're getting all these books for free. All. I've written over 40 books. You get soft copy of all the books for free. So instead of paying extra for the books, you are getting it free, the soft copy, all free of charge. That's the bonus I'm giving you today. And that is all yours if you are paying today. The other product I have for you is the, let me see, what I have for you is this family finance combo. So we decided to put together a combo that every family should read these books, all these books. Some of you are wondering, well, where do I start from? You need these books. The first book is called Family Finance, the title of this conference. The second book is The Billionaire Investor. The third book is The Online Money Book. The next book is Entrepreneurial Tool, Business Plan and Grants. The next book is Building Wealthy Relationship. Some of you, your problem right now, all your friends are poor. And if all your friends are poor, you'll be the next poor person, even if you're currently rich. Maximizing real estate investment, right? Cryptocurrency, leveraging and managing it. Okay, I talked about cryptocurrency yesterday and Forex and all these types of investment. Advanced mini importation, billionaire land banker, the law of poverty and the law of wealth, right? Start business from ground up. So these are 11 books. What we did was the promo is you pay for 5 and you get 6 free. And what I will also add to it, you get also 3 months access to Stephen University as the bonus for those of you who are paying for this today. So just go to the website and you can sign up. That's it from my end. Don't forget to join our community. We have a WhatsApp group. All of you should join and let's grow together. I love you all. Thank you for having me. God bless you.
All right, man. So I mean, come on, man. You've heard from the Odogu himself. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, right? And I always tell people, anytime you get a chance to hear from people who are extremely wealthy, you don't take it for granted. A lot of the information that was shared today are what people actually paid to hear, right? And we all just got it for free. So that the onus is on you now to go and take action and start implementing those things that you have heard. So at this point, we're actually preparing for a reasonable amount of break and be coming back in the next couple of hours. But before we do that, we want to have a little intermission for the advert, and then we'll come back and tell you what we're looking forward to in the second half of this conference. All right, IT, take it away.
Welcome to GTEx land, where every corner is a masterpiece waiting to be discovered. Step into the serenity of Jasper Estate, your haven in Ibeju-Lekki. Feel the sand beneath your feet at Beryl Beachfront Estate, your coastal retreat. Experience the charm of Sardius Farm City Estate, where nature and community blend seamlessly in AP. Discover elegance at Sardius Estate in Ijebu-Ode, where modern living meets tradition. Live in luxury at Beryl Forta City, Kurudu's premier destination for urban living. Find your dream home at Prime Rose Estate, where sophistication meets comfort in Ibeju-Lekki. Experience luxury living at Sardius Estate in Port Harcourt, where every detail is designed for your comfort. Escape to tranquility at Jasper Estate in Isheri, your peaceful sanctuary. Discover perfection at Sardius Estate in Guzape, Abuja, where luxury meets lifestyle. At Gtexland, we don't just sell properties, we secure your future. Welcome to your new beginning.
I have so many power. I have Santus Sanatorias. I have Ramande. I have Abido Sheka. I have never touched those ones. I have Sepre. When it comes to power, I have Rebadu. I have Ganduka Gandusa. I have Ndaboski Baos.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sedios Estate Ekpe. I'm here with our honorable chief, sir.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sílẹ̀ àlàáfíà. Bọ́lá olóòtú ọmọ àdábánijà. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sílẹ̀ àlàáfíà ní Sedios Estate lẹ́pẹ́. Hey.
Okay, so the reason why we are here today, we are having an open house. Like we are having our presence here. We are opening office space here. So it is in our culture to always have our presence in our estates.
Ilẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ fún ni ẹjẹ́ wọn rí lẹ̀ẹ́lẹ̀ bàtà olówó iyebíye la fi ń tẹ̀bẹ̀ yìí.
Okay, so for my smart investors who might not understand Yoruba, what Daddy is trying to tell us is that this estate is a complete dry land and you can buy and start building immediately. And you all know what Ekpe has to offer. Gives you this luxury. You miss out of Lekki, you can't afford to miss out on this Ekpe. So you know that Ekpe is the new oil well in Lagos, right? So, and we are giving opportunities to smart investors who are ready to take advantage of this offer, the offer we are giving today. Okay, so just join us as we take you around. This is our office space. Like I said earlier, we are opening our office here today, so you can take it.
Ọmọ tí a ń sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ọmọ oníràwọ̀ mẹ́rìndínlógún kí ló rí sílẹ̀ yìí.
Bàbá mi kò sí pàfẹ́ rojọ́ tó pọ̀
ọ̀tán.
Ó jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ ti mọ̀ pé Gtex ara kan ni tí ò ṣe fọwọ́rọ́ sẹ́yìn tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ real estate. Kéèyàn ti wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ over 16 years ká má gbọ́ burúkú kan nípa ẹ̀ á jẹ́ pé ó ń ṣe ẹ̀tọ́, ó ń ṣe ohun tó tọ́, ó ń ṣe ohun tó yẹ ni.
So 10 million naira, you own a plot here. And for those of you who might not be able to pay outright for installment, instead of paying 25 million naira, you pay 12.5 million naira. And for my smart investors who might want to go into mini estate, you want to own an estate inside this estate, and you are ready to buy 6 plots and above. Instead of paying 50 million naira per plot, they are giving it to you for 7.5 million naira. 7.5, which means with 45 million naira, you can own a 6 plot here. 45 million naira, you own a 6 plot here.
Hello, guys.
All right, folks. So we've come to that time where we are rounding up the first session for the conference today. So we're going to be coming back at exactly 7 p.m. West African time. Please make sure you show up 10 minutes before the time, because we have powerful line of speakers that are going to be taking on this evening session. And like I said before, don't just show up, but show up to take notes. And don't just take notes to go and apply those things that you're going to learn. And if you haven't already done so, please share your testimonials online with the hashtags that we mentioned earlier. So with that being said, it's been a pleasure having this first session with you guys, and I'll see you in the next couple of hours at 7 p.m. to be exact. See you guys soon.
One major one that I think is important is the fact that readers are leaders and leaders are readers. Nobody has risen to the top 10% of the field without putting so much effort in reading the ideas, the concepts, of those that have gone ahead, reading biographies, learning stories. And for me, few books changed my life when I started. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Acres of Diamond, and The Richest Man in Babylon. And they changed my life totally. Today, God has helped me to build an empire practically from nothing. Starting first business with about $10. And the story really has turned to become something that, a lot are modeling after today across the globe. But I have had to put it in a book because many always want to be mentored. I want to learn, and I say the best way to teach anybody is just put in a book. I've written over 40 books. I've decided to put together every single book that I've authored, over 40 of them, and I'm giving you opportunity to buy either the e-copy or the physical copy. So you can get the e-copy. If you put all the e-copies together, they are going for almost $2,000 because the e-copy alone, average between $17 to $27 for the e-copy. Multiplying that by 40, right? Then the physical copies are a bit more expensive. But you have an opportunity to get the entire e-copy for just $200 plus the audio volume as well. In this season of Christmas and New Year, while if you want to buy the physical copy, which of course average about $47, $27 to $47, you're getting all of it delivered to you anywhere in the world. We're taking care of the shipping and everything. Normal cost will be over $2,000. They're all foreign print, quite heavy. Average books between 100 pages to over 400 pages, right? So quite heavy to move, logistics, shipping them. I'm sure when you get the book in your house, they're enough to start a library, I can assure you. Okay, so rather than pay 2,000 plus, in the spirit of this amazing season, take advantage right now and don't miss it. But I love you.
Visit www.stephenakintayo.com/GFFC promo to order now.